Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Most World, American Politics. And once again, I'm your host today. I'm Minister, and she's
Nicole
Nicole
Bolton.
Boat. I don't think can we hear you? Can we hear you, Nicole? Are you there? Are you here with us?
I hear you. You can't hear me? I hear me and I see
No,
you.
I can't hear you right now. Can you hear? Can you hear me?
I hear you clearly. And I can see myself on
Hold
your
on a second. You know
screen.
where I might be. Hold on a second. Let me hold on a second. It might be on my end. Hold on just a second
Okay.
here. Yeah,
All right. No.
I gotta make sure I got some stuff together here. Uh, so it might be on my end here. Let me do this real quick, and I might be able to hear you. Okay. All right.
All
So
right.
now go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
No, I still can't hear you. Hold on a second.
What?
Let me
Can you
see.
see me?
But you on it. I can start hearing you. I can hear you a little bit now. You started to come on a little bit. I can see that
What
the
the heck?
volume is there. Yeah, the volume
It
is
sure
there. I just can't
is.
hear.
It's
I hear
there.
you. I hear you. I can hear you a little bit better now. Yeah. Okay. All right. So today,
Okay.
Nicole.
I
Yeah.
turned my volume on my end. So there.
Yeah. So how you doing today?
Okay. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm doing well. Everything is well. Everything is going good. We had a great show yesterday with the kings and priests, biblical agreements and discourse. And as always, you were very, very informative. And your intake is input, I should say, is always welcome. And so everything is good. And we briefly talked a little bit about some things regarding some of the current events that's going on. So during the week, mostly I do, Kings and Kings and Priests Biblical Agreements is on Sunday, but then I do the most dangerous combat sport in the world, American politics, and also another genre which is called independent media reports, which is kind of sort of between what we're doing today. A little bit of independent media reports, and of course, the most dangerous combat sport in the world, which is American politics. And we're going to be we're going to be touching a little bit on both of them today.
Okay.
Starting with this situation with this young man in Mississippi that had the misfortune to be in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. Nolan Wells. And so there was some updates today on that situation with Nolan Wells, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at a little bit of what they were saying about the circumstances of Mr. Wells and how this information is coming out regarding his demise. Sad story, of course, but we're going to get into it and take a look and see if we can get a little bit more insight on what's going on, what was going on, what was taking place with Mr. Nolan Wells. But before we do that, we want to give a shout out to all our sponsors, and we're being sponsored by today, as always, AddMy.net. And Nicole, you can go ahead and talk about your channel.
So my channel is Them Parts on YouTube. We talk about, I share my life and I talk about whatever is on my mind.
Okay, very good. That's a good thing, right? I'm quite sure there's lots of people interested in your life, Nicole. I can only imagine.
Oh, yeah?
How many? Oh, yeah, I think so. I mean, you don't think so? That's a question, Nicole.
Huh?
That's a
What?
question. Yeah, I said, you don't think so? You don't think there's a lot of people interested?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so. I think so.
Okay. Yeah, right. Well, you say you talk about your life. And I can only imagine how many people, would probably be interested in what's going on in your life. I mean, because that's generally what happens, especially when you start, sharing. I get a lot of people who want to know about me as well.
Right.
And I'm a man,
Right.
so I can only imagine what a woman, how many men would want to know about what's going on in a woman's life. So if I'm getting a lot of people, want to know certain things, I know that you probably are as well. So what do you share? What do you share on your? Matter of fact, if you want to, we can kind of look at it if you want. But I don't know if you want me to or not. But if you want, we can take a look and see what the. I'm kind of curious as to what people might be seeing when it comes to your life.
No, I don't want to share right now because I haven't posted anything new on YouTube recently. I think the last thing I posted, I was talking about a headline, I believe. But like I said, I talk about a lot of different stuff that just comes to my mind. So one show I was talking about poly relationships and what I think about that. Another show I was talking about older men dating younger women and my thoughts on that. So it's different stuff. But yeah, one of these days we can take a look at it together. But I want to have something more recent. I want to have something more recent.
Okay. So yeah, quite sure that the folks will be interested in giving a little bit of input, certain things that you may or may not be doing, especially over there in them parts, right?
Yep.
Yes, them parts. Yeah, them parts. Okay, that's very good. Very good. Well, them parts are very. I've seen it. I find it to be very interesting. So yeah, I think that the people are going to enjoy. Those who get the opportunity to, to take a look at your channel, going to enjoy the things that you're doing and how you're doing it. But so right now, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get some update on this situation with Mr. Nolan Wells, and we're going to listen to what this lady has to say regarding the situation. Obviously,
are you guys hearing these latest updates coming out about Nolan Wells? So allegedly, Nolan did leave the island, and he went back to Wyatt's house for a pool party. And during that pool party between Wyatt, Nolan, Evan, and somebody else, and apparently they beat Nolan to death with some sort of bar or pole. There are people that are putting out witness statements stating that they were there and they saw Nolan spitting up blood and that these boys urinated on Nolan. They are saying that Evan's mother knew about the whole thing. And allegedly, they took Nolan's body back to the water. They're saying that this is the reason why it pinged on land at that house before they found that phone. This is why that boy told his daddy that Nolan was like a brother to me. Was like a brother to me when he showed up to get his car. It's because they already knew he was gone. Is this the reason why they needed dental records? Because he was unrecognizable? This case is starting to bust wide open. And we all knew that something else happened to Nolan. Now the question is, which of the parents helped those kids? Are you guys hearing these latest updates coming out about?
Okay. All right. So obviously there are some things, some updates regarding this situation with Nolan Wells. And now they're saying there apparently some type of altercation with a bar pole. And there are people that put out witness statements that said that they were there and they saw Nolan spitting up blood and that the boys were urinating on Nolan. And one of the parents knew all about it. And they actually took the body back to the water. And it's the reason why there was some pinging going on with the phone. And so that's what has been coming out. And so, some interesting things. Some interesting things are coming out regarding this situation with the Nolan Ryan incident. The Nolan Wells incident. So yeah, there were a lot of talks on some shows earlier today regarding this situation. Of course, they're being tight-lipped. Obviously, there's some type of cover-up because. Not necessarily. I'm not gonna call it a cover up. It could and say that they're caution because they don't want to expose the case to where there could be some type of hiccup regarding the legal system regarding evidence being insubmissible. If that makes sense to you, regarding the criminal aspect of it. So that's this is, of course, we talked about it yesterday, and you asked me what I thought. I'm like, it was some foul play going on. So this thing is starting to unfold and unpack, and that's basically what's happening. And so here we see the pictures of the young man's face being blacked out, but here goes a picture where we can see all of them, what they look like. So obviously these young men, these three young men, and I'm not sure who was who, but these are probably three of the men that they're talking about the issue behind the young man demise. And I'm quite sure they don't want to expose too much of the case to where it can put the case in jeopardy, I guess.
Are you sharing a photo? Because it's not up there.
Yeah, I am sharing a photo. What about this photo right here? Can you? Because we're on this end, I can see the photo just fine. But it says
we can't see it on this end. At least I can't.
You can't see that? Okay. Well, okay then. Well, maybe I'm glad you mentioned that because I do see a photo, but it says it's not. It's loading, but it didn't say that it's there. So let me go ahead and do this. We'll go ahead and we'll actually get some more video footage on this.
So I wonder if the news or the police actually said that he was beaten to death. Like, was that released, or is that people like the lady from TikTok piecing things together?
Well, they're saying that there's some type of there's some updates, but let's go ahead. We're gonna play this video when there's some updates about it, and get a little bit of insight, a little bit more insight as to what's going on with this from a different perspective. And we'll just go ahead and we'll take a look at that right now and see, as it says, new clues emerge with the Wells mystery, it says here. So let's go ahead. Well, let's take a look at this, see what's going on.
A lot of new updates in the strange death of a teen on a boat trip to celebrate July 4th. The mysterious circumstances surrounding him being left behind, his body eventually being found washed up on the shore of an island. They're only getting muddled right now. So we're going to sift through all of it and bring you the very latest. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Look, if you follow us here on Sidebar, we're always talking about the risks out there, the dangers. Have you ever thought about a data breach? You and your loved ones, your private information, constantly a risk of being leaked, which is why I want all of you to keep your data safe online. Here's how you do it. Incogni. Incogni tracks down all these old posts and search sites. This is interesting too. There is a judge with apparently a connection to this case who's now spoken out, looking to seemingly set the record straight on these rumors surrounding her family's connection or involvement. And now the case is being attached to perhaps one of the most recognizable civil rights attorneys in the country, Ben Crump. Just recently spoke to ABC News, raised some serious questions about the handling of this case, is now representing Nolan's family. And all this while Nolan's body is being flown out of state for an independent autopsy, the results of which are potentially, reportedly, expected as soon as tomorrow. But I just want to take a moment here because a lot has happened and I want to try to get an understanding of it before we get into the new details. So this all started with that trip to Horn Island on the 4th of July. Now, if you're not familiar, Horn Island is this long, thin barrier island. It's about 10 miles off the coast of Mississippi. It's part of the Gulf Islands National Seashore, only accessible by boat. It's known as a spot where people like to go have some fun out on the water, especially on a holiday like the 4th of July. And that is exactly what authorities say 18-year-old Nolan Wells and a group of friends decided to do. That they apparently took out a private boat out to the island for the day, and something went wrong while he was out there. According to police, Nolan was in a northwest tip of Horn Island. His friends reportedly told searchers that he wanted to stay behind to talk to a girl, was planning to catch a ride back with another group. They ended up leaving. But when Nolan didn't return home, his mother reported him missing, setting off this massive search, involved multiple agencies, including the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, the United Cajun Navy. Now, we spoke with the Vice President of the United Cajun Navy, Brian Trasher, in our previous episode, because he was part of the search. He was actually searching in the air when the news came in about Nolan's body.
I saw the body from about 300 feet in the air, and I can tell you that it did not appear to be waterlogged. It was only in the water for a couple days. But nevertheless, the sheriff's office put out a statement saying that they had no reason to believe it was not Nolan.
Yeah, so a park ranger discovered this body in the water off the Northwest on July 7th. The family confirmed it was Nolan. But this is where things get complicated, because since that time, the case has taken some turns. The questions have only deepened. And I want to talk about what is happening right now. And now I want to bring on somebody to help make sense of everything that's happening. Joining me now, civil rights attorney, friend of the show, Joe Richardson. Joe, thank you so much for coming on. Particularly, I know you're at a conference, so you're very generous with your time, as you always are. So, Joe, thank you.
Always good to be here with you, Jesse, always.
Thank you. I feel the same. So I want to start with the biggest development here, right? Arguably the biggest development. The family has hired Ben Crump, who is now representing them. He has been involved in some of the most high-profile cases in the country in the last few years, if you think about it, right? Representing the families of George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor. And he put out a statement this week that's getting, a lot of people's attention. I want to read part of it. Quote, "We've been retained by the family of Nolan Wells, a beloved son, teammate, and friend who went out to celebrate the 4th of July and never came home. The wide receiver at Southwest Mississippi Community College was preparing to return for the upcoming football season and would have turned 19 next month. His family deserves answers. They deserve the truth. We will not rest until every fact about what happened to Nolan on Horn Island is brought into the light, and we call on investigators to pursue this case with the urgency and transparency this family deserves." Now, Crump also spoke with ABC News and revealed that Nolan's body is being flown to Washington, D.C. for an independent autopsy, saying the family has concerns about the investigation being handled in the state of Mississippi. Joe, before I even go to the independent autopsy, why?
Okay, so they obviously have taken this situation, took it to independent investigators so they can do the autopsy on the body. And so this is definite, basically saying that they're going to leave no stones unturned. But they also, the parents of this young man also was on one of the morning shows, Good Morning America. So we'll take a look at some of that, see what the parents had to say about the situation.
I definitely want to see that.
Pardon me?
I definitely want to see that. I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah,
as a parent,
we'll go to that.
Go somewhere.
Yeah, we'll go to that right now.
And don't come back.
Yeah, and we'll go and see what some of the things that the parents had to say on the subject. So here we go.
I always said safety is in numbers. Mm-hmm. And he always said, yes, sir. So he knew to stay with his group. So why would he split from his group? I don't know.
So that would have been unusual for him to split from the group. Yeah. And you said he would always check in with you. Did he check in with you that day?
So that day, no, I don't. But of course, too, they were on the boat. And usually when he is out there, which it's not uncommon, he's, I think, since last year, he's been going there occasionally with his friends. And so it would always just be like, hey, Mom, I'm back, type of thing. But this time there was no call or text from him. It was from his friend.
And then, too, really didn't worry a lot about it because, it was his last weekend to have fun because that Monday he had to report to school. We was preparing him for the season, so we're gonna see. He wanted to have his last little hurrah before he locked down and get ready for the season. Because, like I said, the entire summer he's training. He got more serious. He started to understand what I was trying to tell him about football not just being fun, but as you get farther in it, it becomes a business. If you want to excel, and you have to understand, and you have to understand both at the same time.
And we know, Ben, that you said that you're going to do an independent investigation.
Yes.
And you say you have Nolan's cell phone and messages were deleted. How could you tell messages were deleted?
Well, his parents got the phone back, and that's something that's important, Michael, because they tracked this phone on Life 360.
So Life 360, but when I received the phone call from Warren, I immediately called my friend Tashima, and I said, hey, have you guys seen Nolan? Because her two sons, Jalen and Javon, like they grew up together. They played City League sports together. When they got into school, they played sports together. And so she was like, hey, like, okay, the boys were pulling up the location from Snapchat. So the Snapchat location looks completely different than the Life 360 location. So when I pulled up Life 360, it was different. It was showing everywhere the phone had been. Like I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. Like I'm not. He's like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Well, how were you able to get the phone?
So we tracked it, and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
It wasn't like they said we got his phone, they tracked it. And that highlights all these contradictions, Michael. The fact that they said Nolan was talking to a young woman and she said that he said, I'm going back to get on the boat with the boys. The boys said that he said he was going to stay with her. And so that's an obvious contradiction. And then this video of this, you can hear an argument going where Nolan is saying, give me my freaking phone. What are you freaking doing? And so then his phone ends up missing. I don't know any teenagers, Michael Strahan, who says, if you believe that story, I'm going to stay behind and I'm going to leave my phone. I mean, no young person leaves their cell phone. And so then there's so many things their parents are telling us about, even why didn't his body wash up with the tide on Sunday? Why would it come on Monday? It's not adding up. And that is the problem when you think about the history of Mississippi.
Yeah, so there are so many questions that need to be answered. And is there anything you'd like people to know about Nolan? What would you like them to know about your son?
No,
It's okay.
Nolan, take your time. Nolan was very loving. He was liked by all. It was not a friend that he couldn't make.
No, we'll be right back with more for the parents of Nolan Wells and attorney Ben Crump. We're back now on GMA with the parents of Nolan Wells, Christina and Elmore Wansley. And I want you to please continue to tell us what you want the world to know about your son.
So Nolan was just like this bright light, right? Walk into a room, his smile, his energy was just so infectious. Like it's almost like he drew you into him. And he was just one of those people, like he always wanted everyone to be included. He didn't want anyone to feel left out. I remember one of his teachers emailing us. I can't remember what grade he was in, but basically it was math class. They had a special needs student, and she asked a question, and Nolan got everyone to put their hands down because he wanted that student to answer. And so student answers the question, and she was like, Christine, the classroom, Nolan went crazy, and everyone else started going crazy, just celebrating that child. Making them feel included. And that was the person he was. Like he loved everyone. And I always told Nolan, like, you know, you have to be careful when you have such a big heart like that. I love that God blessed you with that, but you have to be careful with that because, you know, that it's not always returned, that type of love. But he was just genuinely a good person. Like I always say, all the best parts of me are with him.
And Dad, anything else you want to add?
It's just, he's gonna be really missed. I know a lot of his teammates, they all looked at him as a leader. He's more like a silent leader. Not real big on words, more action, which is kind of like I was. I really wasn't real big on talking. I really wanted to show you, and you follow me, and people followed him, and it's gravitated. He put in the work, he worked hard, and he knew he was focused on what he wanted, and he wanted to make life better for, his family. He wanted to have his own family. He used to say, Dad, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. I said, well, son, you got to take it one step at a time. Slow down, let's walk this thing out. Let's train, let's sign our deals, let's make these teams, make these camps, put the work in, and everything else will work out. Even his baby brother, their bond got even stronger, because now I have a big brother that he's finna do something, so now I want to outdo that. So his focus and his confidence has got even better. So I was looking forward to both of them having outstanding years.
Seasons,
It seemed like he inspired in the home, and he inspired outside of the home. And Attorney Crump, where do we go from here? What's next?
Well, the deleted messages that Christina was going to briefly touch on, we want to get the phone and figure that out.
Backtrack on that. When we finally got his phone, me and my sister went through the phone. We went in his Snapchat. He had 2 accounts, absolutely nothing. It wasn't even 24 hours, which is how long videos and pictures stay in Snapchat. And I was just like, that can't be. Like, I've seen Nolan whenever he snaps, like when he goes and he's having fun, like he does videos. Like, there was absolutely nothing, no saved videos. And even my sister was like, yeah, that's suspicious,
Michael, we having an independent autopsy done at the behest of his family. Colin Kaepernick helped pay for the independent autopsy. We flew his body up from Mississippi to D.C. because they wanted an autopsy done by a person with no interaction with the Mississippi law enforcement, because there's an issue of trust here that is really important. And the fact that they keep trying to say, well, suggesting it was a drowning, but nobody out there reported him drowning, it's not adding up, Michael Strahan. It is not adding up.
And honestly, we are doing this because at the end of the day, I would hope any parent would fight for their kids to find out if anything happened, what did happen. So we just want honesty and transparency. We want a thorough investigation. We want that same respect that would be given to anybody else, and that's it. We just want answers.
Well, we really appreciate all of you being here. We hope you get the answers that you deserve to have, and we hope you get the closure that you need. Thank you all for being here.
Yeah, all right. So yes,
Well, it doesn't
but
sound
obviously
like,
they
I was gonna say, it doesn't sound like they know the cause of death. Like, if he was beaten to death, you can't mix that with a drowning. So hopefully he was not beaten to death, because that would be horrible.
right. Well, the first video, which obviously is not a substantiated video, was when the woman said that he was beaten, and there has been no reported confirmation of that. But obviously, she got some information from somewhere, decided to go ahead and do the video as an update as to what's going on with the particular case. These things all come out, of course, and we'll get a more definitive. Well, we won't never. Okay, so they won't tell everything that's going on, because they don't want, if this is in fact some type of foul play, they do not want the perpetrators to know the direction of their investigation. So if you hush about that, and they got some heavyweight people, the case.
Well, I mean,
matter of fact, I seen go ahead.
No, I want
Al Sharpton was going. Al Sharpton was one of the ones earlier that was talking about the investigation and delving into as to what happened and how they are now going to leave no stone unturned as to what happened to this young man. So, yeah, that's basically how this thing playing itself out.
Well, I can understand the state playing that way in certain cases, but not in this one, since he was with a specific group of people, so they know that more than likely they're only looking at those people, unless there was other people.
That's true.
On the island. So I don't see the need in this case to like withhold information from us to what is the suspect or the perpetrator gonna do. You know, they can't change the situation. They've already got the phone back. They already have access to the deleted text. They should know who he was in that argument with because they heard the arguing. So the mom or the dad should recognize the voice, or somebody should, and they have his body, so they know if it was a violent death, at least, even though they don't have the autopsy. They know if it was a violent death or or not. So I don't think in this case there's a need for the police to be all hush hush. Oh, we got this information, we don't want to put it out there because it might affect the case. I don't see that being the case. If they're withholding information, there's some foul play and they on some bullshit. Like that judge, like whatever showed earlier, had that judge who says her family's involved with the guys who was with Nolan. Like that's conflict of interest. Like she should not be on the case. They like not only move the autopsy to Washington, D.C., but move the whole case.
Well, there's obviously there's definitely some independent agencies involved with this now, and so they're not leaving it up to the state of Mississippi to get all the evidence, or submit all the evidence. They got it. Obviously, they went and got their own independent officials to take a look at this. And so when you start talking about connections with people with connections with judges, that still doesn't have anything. I mean, that doesn't have anything to do with the actual independent investigation. Yeah, you can say that, someone did some information from or talking to someone who may be able to suppress some of the evidence that they don't want to come out. And I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but the point is that they haven't made an arrest. So they obviously, if they have suspects, they haven't not made an arrest or haven't made any arrest, plural. Mm-hmm. The woman in the video earlier said there were several individuals involved that actually beat the young man, and then started talking about dental records. So that's saying if you needed dental records, that he was, it was a severe attack, a beating. If he needed to have dental records, they said that he hadn't been in the water that long. That's what was reported on the.
But usually, you get dental records to identify somebody. Mm-hmm. That's usually when the body is too decomposed or too bad to even be for sure that this is that person. Well, they said they know that this is that person. So I don't even know if that lady's correct about the dental records or if any of her information is correct, to tell you the truth.
You don't know. That's true. You don't know. But, this is some of the things that is out there, and some of the conversation that's taking place as to what is going on. And we're just reporting what we hear. We don't know what's going on at all. We're just making a report, right? And then, of course, we make and
we're breaking down the information that we report on because we're trying to make it make sense, right? We're trying to understand it and make it make sense to us.
Absolutely. What makes sense to me is there was some obvious, based on what they're saying, obvious foul play. Who was involved?
I agree.
Yeah, who was involved with this foul play? is yet to be definitively determined. You know, she made the early video, the first video said she mentioned names. Didn't mention the names as to who did exactly what that could have caused death. You know, an attack took place, and she mentioned some names that were involved in the altercation. But
so have they even questioned anybody? Like, has any of the guys, everybody that he went with on that boat should have been questioned by now? Has that even happened?
They sure have. I'm quite sure they have went ahead and talked to individuals that was in his presence, and had conversation with them. Have not made an arrest. That doesn't mean that they don't have suspects that they have under the microscope. You know what I mean? And again, you know, you have to be careful as to who these people might know. I mean, every picture thus far that was taken had been Caucasian people. You know, these people are not. You know, I'm not sure where he lives, what type of. Well, I'm talking about where he lived in Mississippi. I know the state in which he lived in. I'm not sure, you know, what the demographics are within that area where he lived in. Obviously, he was around a lot of white people, and so what happened and how
it sounds like. Oh, sorry to cut you off. I was saying it sounds like his mom said he goes to this island every year or all the time.
Right.
So I just assumed he goes with these people all the time. Like, this is not a new thing, him going with this group of people. So, you know, I just wanted to point that out, that, you know, it's not like a one-off that he went with them. It's a one-off that he did not come back. So why he did not come back is the question and the problem.
Right. Yeah. Well, we know he didn't come back alive. So parts that they're investigating, obviously, they want to get a clear cause of death. They want to make sure they know a cause of death. Obviously, you know, they took the body out for independent autopsy. They have got a report, cause of death of some sort. But obviously, they want to make sure that
they said it wouldn't take long for the autopsy to come back. They said it wouldn't take long, which is
right. Okay. Well, then a couple more days, somebody will talk about that. But the most important thing is that they have taken the reins and took control of the investigating on their own, and that's very important. That they go ahead and
that's good. And that's important. That don't mean it's going to prevail, because, I mean, we've seen Ben Crump take over cases before that did not prevail. The first one was Trayvon Martin. He lost that case.
Well, they did find the individual. Of course, we knew, you know,
George Floyd.
Yeah, that wasn't George Floyd. That was,
wait, George Floyd, not George Floyd. What am I talking about? George. Whatever his name was.
Yeah, that individual, he was acquitted.
He was acquitted. Yeah. Yes, he won. He beat that case. And in my mind, it makes no sense. That case should have been the easiest case to win, in my personal opinion. That's just me.
Well, there was a law, okay. There was a law that protected it, you know, stand your own ground law.
What law?
Stand your own ground law, okay.
Yeah, he used the stand your ground law, but he was the perpetrator. He was the one following Trayvon Martin.
That is true. That's exactly right. That's the part.
Right. He proved that on his own. But
Right,
if
that's
you
true.
watch the case, and I know I'm getting all off of Nolan Wells because I don't know much about that, and I hope they figure out what's going on there. But I just say that to say that sometimes when it looks like it's an easy win or as clear as day, like in the Trayvon Martin case, okay, George, whatever his name was, used the stand your ground law, but he was the one
Right.
following the boy, right? And then
True.
he said Trayvon attacked him and
Right.
started beating him up, and
Right.
then he had to protect himself. Now, there is
Right.
where there was no proof. There was absolutely no proof that Trayvon Martin attacked him and beat him up. There was no proof of that. But in court, somehow he was able to prevail based on that fact.
Yeah. Well, okay, so he was there. Okay, so we're talking about George Zimmerman. Okay. So the guy, yeah, Zimmerman, George Zimmerman, okay. And so in that particular case, it happened in Florida, and Florida has a stand your ground law, or whatever that thing is.
Which don't apply when you are the perpetrator. Don't apply when you are the one who is causing the issue.
Right. Well, he called it self-defense, is what he called it, self-defense. And for example, had the young man, and again, it wasn't like he got shot in the back and run away. So he got shot from the front. From my recollection, and it was said it was some kind of physical struggle. And so I don't really know. You and I don't know all the evidence, but until we do know that Zimmerman beat the case. But
he did, which is ridiculous.
He beat the case. It was a case in Florida, and for example, if the man had thought, because I remember seeing another case where a man approached a woman. He approached a woman in a car, and her boyfriend walked up to the man and pushed him. Yeah, and then the man goes in there and comes out and shoots him. Right? Now the guy put his hands on him first. In other words, the guy came up to the car.
He pulled out the gun. He pulled out the gun. The black dude backed up.
Yeah, but he had already.
And then he shot it.
He shot anyway, right? Exactly. He had already been pushed to the ground. See, so he's already been assaulted because the man put his hands on him. That's why, that's why I tell people of color, call 911. I mean, don't hesitate. Before you put your hands on somebody, call 911 first, immediately.
And then what?
And then report.
Then the police come and shoot the shit out of you.
Well, you gotta hope. You have to hope that wouldn't happen. But as it stands, the circumstances, I mean, we can say a lot of things that
we can.
We can say a lot of things that that they could do. But the point is within the law, stand into the confines of the law. If something happens, call 911. Somebody's talking to my woman crazy at the door, at the car door. Making all, and so I'm calling you all to come check this guy out. Then, of course, get your family. In that particular case, when the guy got shot, secure your family, right? Make sure you got enough witnesses that say, hey, look, this man, if he comes closer to my car, we're going to have to stand our ground, right? See, but call 911 first. Call 911 first. Okay, that's what black people don't do. Yeah, call 911. They got to be within the confines of the law. You have to stay in the parameters of the law. No longer can you sit there talking about, well, I'm gonna go ahead and do my thing. I'm gonna just go and get up. No, don't get up. Call 911. That's the police's job. Police's job is to get them. See, black folks need to do what? Stand by and stand down like down. So get back, stand there. Okay, man, I don't want no trouble. 911 calling. That's what you did. Gotta start doing. You know, and otherwise.
Well, I mean, I can't agree with that because I've just seen too many instances where calling 911 don't help nobody. It just made the situation. Getting the police involved made the situation sometimes deadly.
Okay, well, we can talk about that as well. But the point is that you stay in the confines of the law, whether it turns out deadly or not. The fact of the matter is you're breaking the law. Because if we break a law, they can really say that's why he or she is no longer with us because they broke the law. But when you stay within the confines of the law, that's on them. And that's basically what it comes down to. You can't sit up here talking about what they're gonna do, what you gonna do, and how you gonna protect yourself. And that's the most important part of the situation.
I say protect yourself by having your own weapon. If it's gonna get physical, then and if it's a stand your ground state, you should be ready to stand your ground.
Okay, there you go.
Use their laws against them, not call the law. Use their laws to your protection. The laws apply to us too.
Well, okay. Well, you can stand your ground. There's nothing wrong with doing that either. But the point is, when there's not an imminent threat, to lethal force, you don't see that lethal force playing itself out. Call it. I get it. If you got to go ahead and you have to act to save your life, that makes all the sense of the world. But if you have enough time to say, look, like for example, a young man who, when the man was talking to whoever he was talking to, and he came around and he grabbed and pushed him on the ground, if he just says, "Please, sir, stay away from my car. Don't talk to my family. I'm calling 911." At least he would have been the one to initiate the protection of the law.
The phone call to 911.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The protection of the law.
What is that gonna say? You know what I'm saying? Or if you're saying instead of pushing the guy, call 911 first.
Right. Let's say, for example, let's look at it this way. Let's say, for example, the guy never pushed it. The man went up to the car, started hollering at his woman, and the guy never pushed him, never put his hands on it. Said, "Sir, get away from my car, calling woman." Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't push it. Yeah, see, let's say
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Let's say the man said, "You know what? Excuse you, I'm gonna get crazy with your woman. I'm going up to the car and do whatever I want to." And the man turned around and knocked him, hit him and knocked him out. Didn't push him to the ground, knocked him out. Protecting his woman. He ain't going to jail for that. They had video. There are a lot of people that seen that video. That man got off because the man pushed him to the ground. He put out his gun, pop.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I say, what if the old white dude was arguing with the lady, followed her to the car, still getting belligerent, and the guy do what you say, "Hey, sir, get away from my car. I'm calling 911."
Right.
And the dude keeps getting belligerent. He don't stop.
Right.
Instead of pushing him, stand your ground.
You gotta protect.
Stand your ground.
Now you protect him. Right. You protect him. Right. Because the man turned around, he gonna get to the point where he's like, for example, he had to break a law, like to open up the car door. That's breaking and entering. Like, for example, you go to the store, somebody walks out, follows you walking out, from the store to your car and open up your car. That's breaking and entering. Right? That's the same thing as breaking and entering. Right? You turn around.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, it is. That is what it is. You turn around, go into your purse and start pop, pop, pop. That's like saying that's like.
I would even beg to differ that the aggressiveness and the belligerence of him cussing out that lady and following her and her children to the car.
Right.
Could have been a stand your ground case.
Well, it could have been. It could have been. I mean, we don't really. I mean, I don't. I'm gonna put it that way. I don't know the full circumstances, the totality of the situation. I only saw the a little snippet of the guy walking up to the car.
We saw the same thing.
And the guy
That
pushed
was
him down,
enough.
and he pushed him down to the ground. And the man come out firing. You know, when the man come out firing, the police came and he obviously didn't get arrested because they showed the tape of the man pushing him to the ground. Yeah, pushing assaulting.
Right. So I'm saying if he hadn't pushed him to the ground, but just protected his wife and his kids in that moment, because the guy was being very belligerent, he was not stopping, he was still coming at him. If the dude had stood his ground and shot the man for him and his family's life, that's still standing your ground.
Okay.
Then the situation would have been worse. He would have went home to his family.
Well, it should have been. It should have been. It should have been. You know.
Well, this
we have
is what I'm saying.
situations.
Like protection that we think we got, we don't have. Calling 911 ain't protection for Black people. I've known too many people who.
Okay, that's fine. I'll have to
In my
say
opinion,
that you run a better you run a better chance of sticking with the law, staying within the confines of the law, than stepping out of the boundaries of the law.
I'm saying stay within the law. I'm saying use the law to your advantage. Stand your ground goes for everybody. If you're in a stand your ground state and you legally carry a weapon, it goes for everybody. So I'm saying Black people should be.
That's fine. Let's say this. Let's put this way. Let's say that you took it a step further regarding you being a victim. A person approaches you or approaches your car with your family in it. You tell the man, back up. This is my family. You know, and don't touch my car. Don't go inside my car. Now, you go ahead and you get yourself in a position, because I believe the woman was in the driver's side. I'm not sure, in that particular situation. But the point is let's say, for example, she was in the driver's side. You tell her start the car up and start backing and start driving away. And when the car start backing up, driving away, then you walk to the car, you get in, you leave. And then you get to a place where you call the police and say, this is what this man did, was doing to my family. You got your family away from the situation. You got yourself away from the situation, right? Out of harm's way. You did your due diligence to follow the law, and then you did your right as a citizen to call the law and say, look, this is what's going on. This is what happened. You need to, to check, do a report on this guy for what he did. Therefore, they got a report on the guy. He got a history there. He does it again. Yeah, we had problems with this guy once before. You see, these are things you build character, this person's character, right?
Yeah, but a lot of that, it sounds good, Ted, but none of that shit makes a difference when you're in the moment, number one. And you're so crazy. Why'd you laugh? Well, when you're in the moment, and fuck building a case. I was just watching a show on Netflix, a documentary about these two neighbors, these two white ladies who lived across from each other, and one of them just kept calling the police on the other one, and she called herself building a case. Like, I done told y'all they did this, they did that, and she, even though she was lying about a lot of shit she was saying, she went over there and she killed the husband and shot the wife in the face. It's like all those calls she had did, the law didn't do anything because they couldn't step in. There was nothing that they could do. So all this case building, it doesn't always lead to an arrest. It doesn't always stop the incidents that's going on. These were neighbors. They were next door, and this probably went on for 2 years. and both of them were calling the police on each other, trying to get protection. So it wasn't. So I just disagree. I agree with protecting yourself. I wouldn't, I would say, I'm not one for physical violence anyway, but I am one for protecting myself and my family.
Okay, so what I heard you say is that you had two families having conflict, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. When one of them went and shot the other one's husband and shot her, the woman, in the face, right? You see,
Yeah.
somebody had to go to jail. Somebody had to go to jail. Okay, somebody had to go to jail. The person who did this.
Yeah, the one who did the killing. She went to jail. She went to jail, but that's not my point. My point is they have been calling the police for years and nothing was done. It didn't get done until somebody died, until some act of physical violence.
Correct, exactly. The woman walked over there to their house, and when she shot the husband and then shot the woman in the face at their house, is what you said, right? Well, there's not a lot. There's not a lot that you can do if a person takes things to that extreme, except for trying to run and get out of the way. If a person comes over.
I'm talking to your point of calling the police to build that case. Those cases have been built for 2 years and nothing was done.
No, well, she has to do something, or whoever has to do something egregious enough to warrant an arrest. Obviously, she wasn't doing that. They were calling back and forth.
That's my point.
Well, I don't know what the point is, other than the fact that sounds to me like you're saying that you'd have been the one shooting the lady's husband and the woman in the face. I mean, I don't know if that's what you're saying or not. But the point is that when the woman, are they going back?
That's not what I'm
saying. Okay, so what are you saying? Okay, so what are you saying? What are you saying?
I was comparing it to the black dude and the white dude. Because you said the black dude should have just drove off and called the police and built the case against this dude. And I'm telling you,
let me ask you this question. Would he be alive today? Would he be alive today? Would he be alive today?
He would be alive if he hadn't put his hands on the guy and if the guy hadn't shot him, or he would be alive if he shot the dude first. Instead of pushing him because he felt threatened, he should have shot him because he felt threatened. He would be alive as well.
So he's dead, and that man that shot him is walking around without a care in the world. Yeah, he's dead. And his loved ones are without him. If he had kids, they're without a father. Yeah, see, all these things you have to think about, right?
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. This is the thing.
That's why
this is the thing that people don't think about.
A weapon to stand your ground, because obviously.
Okay. Well, let's put it this way. There are people that have weapons. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that doesn't mean that they're safe because they have weapons.
No.
So they give them they got opportunity to go ahead and shoot somebody if they get to their gun first. But I don't know anybody had guns all the time. They had never got shot at or shot, or like, for example, carrying around all the time. Now, I don't. That's just me, but I mean, I don't subscribe to people in this society, with melanin, talking about I got guns, because they have an opportunity.
You ain't got it's the law. What are you talking about? Talking about I got guns, it's the law. You probably can't have a gun. You don't agree with it.
I can have a gun. No. So let me put it this way. You obviously sound like a person with a gun. Okay, you sound like a person with a gun. But even with your gun, you can't walk around here on your hip. Okay, there's a law against that. Okay.
I don't. Okay, well, no, there's states where when you can have a gun on your hip. There's states for that. Yeah. But it's what is that? An amendment? It's your constitutional right.
Concealed weapon. concealed weapon. There's a thing
I'm
called
talking
concealed weapon.
I'm talking about your constitutional right. But I got a question for you, since you said dude would have been better off calling the police, and he definitely would have been better off calling the police. Have you ever called the police on someone who was being aggressive towards you?
Have I ever called the police? No, I'm just learning to call the police. Okay, my life had not been.
You're learning
I'm calling the police.
And how old are you?
Exactly. Is it working for me? It's working out great. Yeah, it's working out good now. Yeah.
No. But you're doing that now. You're doing that now.
I had a situation. Yeah, right. I had a situation. Okay. Yeah, because that's what they do. I had a situation not too long ago. I was in a Motel 6 almost a month. Right. I'm over here maybe about 14 days in. Man, talking about, you've been here for a long time. I said, well, that's the problem. As a matter of fact, last time I extended my stay, you told me to bring cash, not brought cash. I wasn't supposed to bring cash, but because you asked me to bring cash, I brought cash. And oh, by the way, have you read your policies? It doesn't say I have to be out of here in 14 days. It has between 14 days and 21 days. That's it within the guidelines, because they don't want you staying long enough to where you can call yourself having residency there, right? So for example, you say, I'm staying, I ain't getting out, you got to be victim and all that. I get that. That's what I told him. I said, I get all that, but I ain't been here for 21 days. As a matter of fact, and it says 21 days, you said 14, So I'm letting you know what your policy says. Have you read that? He said, no, I haven't read that. Well, you need to go ahead and read that. So I said, but guess what? I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get my stuff and I'm leaving. And you better not be charging me no extra $20 for I wouldn't do that if I was you. And I left. And I went and got a U-Haul vehicle. But guess what I did right after I got the U-Haul vehicle?
What?
I called the police and told them to be over there when I get there. Exactly. Right. So when I got there, I parked the U-Haul vehicle. I wait for the police to roll up. When the police roll up, I walk in there and say, I'm getting ready to get my stuff.
Smart move.
See, because you can't be the one. And this is another thing I told the guy when he was talking to me. First thing I said to him, I said, "Look, man. First of all, I don't fight. Okay, I don't fight." And our further said this. I said, "I bring down judges. You're gonna be easy work, sir." That's what I told him. Yeah, that's what I told him. See, and this is what I mean. You got to understand the thought process is not to be in a situation where you put yourself in harm's way, right? Yeah, you put yourself in harm's way. See, and that's the problem with this blackness that we got. Oh, we're going to do what we want to do. You can't. You can't do whatever you want to do, because the first thing they're going to do is you at fault. I shot. He was, I was scared. Whatever he did, no. First thing I said to him in his office, I don't fight. First, I'm letting you know right now, I don't fight. Yeah. See, I learned from that, right?
Which I learned that though, Ted, because you when was your last fight?
When my last fight? I can tell you what my last altercation was. When
was that?
See, I don't get into fights no more. I get into altercations, right? And here's the thing. Here's the difference. Here's the difference. Okay. I don't swing on it, right?
Okay.
I don't swing on it.
Okay.
Since I've had this, I've been suing some people, and it's been going on for quite a long time. I don't get into fights because they want me to be arrested. So I have altercations where I don't hit them. I tell them, I subdue them, then I leave them alone. I don't hit them. I subdue them, and then I leave them alone. That's what I do. You see? The last time I had an altercation, I approached these youngsters, and this has happened maybe about 2 months ago. Dudes, I'm talking about the two of them. One dude threw a rock at me. I said to the dude, I said, man, what's up with the rock throwing? What's up with the rock throwing? I was leaving where I'm at right now. I got up from where I'm at right now and was walking. And the dude walking past these there was three youngsters. One threw a rock at me. I said, man, what's up with the rock throwing? I'm like, man, why are you throwing rocks? And the bigger dude said, I'm talking to me. I don't talking to me. If that's when we start talking. The way we talking, I said, well, man, if you ain't did no problem, you did that, you ain't got nothing to worry about. And there was a little one there, right? Like he was 12 years old. I said to the little dude, I said, look, man, I'm not talking to you. I know you with this dude and you with that dude. You know, I'm not talking to you, but you'll see me tonight. That's what I told him. I said, you, and I said, I didn't say right now. No, wait a minute. I did. Listen, they already threw rocks at me, right? They already threw a rock. Then the dude started throwing several rocks at me. I said, what's going on that night? So I know it's you. You got the rock and you got the weapon underneath your shirt somewhere. I know he got a weapon.
He had a gun?
I don't know what he had. But I know he had something, and I already gave him warning already, right? I said, because first, let's say, for example, whatever they did, they would have to do it in a severe way to subdue me off top. I didn't think that was going to happen. But this is what happened. When I turned to the big dude, he wrapped me up real quick, and the dude hit me in the back in the head. Yeah, the dude will hit me in the back of the head. So I'm going to sleep. Right? I go to sleep. So they figured, well, now he go to sleep, he gonna stay down like all the rest of them. But no, I got up, right? I got up. After I woke up, maybe about 5-10 seconds, I was up. They was running. I got up. I was all jacked up. I don't even know the severity. Let me ask you another question. Have you ever seen me beat up before?
Never.
I'm asking you. No, you have. You seen the after effects.
You
seen that? I'm gonna remind you.
I remember you got into a fight one time. You came to the house. You said you had gotten into a fight. The dude,
there you go.
And you got up out of it.
That's exactly right. I know. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. To me, I was messed up.
Oh, okay.
Because, but what happens is the next day I'll be just fine. Like they took pictures of me. I want to get okay. I came back over here I call up to him over at the Safeway. That's what I say. Okay, wait, Safeway. I came back at the Safeway. I came back at the Safeway. The dude was coming out. He was coming out of the Safeway. He started to run, the big one. And I started coming out and I fell, right? Because I didn't have no legs under me. I said, well, let me go into the Safeway and see if I can catch the other one. And I go in the Safeway, they went in there. And I said, I need some footage of these I just had an application with. And they showed, they thought they came out and took pictures of me and all that kind of stuff, right? They took pictures of me, right? So whoever it was, and here's another thing. I seen the one dude about a week later. Now he was at the library. Glasses down. I looked to the right, to the left, and the police was there. The police was probably trying to get him. You know, he probably was already under arrest, setting up the other youngster, to come down so they can arrest both of them. You know, that's how the game plays. That's how you got to understand how the game plays, and you don't go to jail. You don't go to jail. I underestimated them. Didn't think they was gonna get that aggressive. But no, I don't. But I'm hesitant on actually doing something to him because I'm not trying to get to jail. I got this case I got to take care of. I can't got no time to go in no jail. But even if I didn't have a case, I would still be thinking, let me call this 911 first. Call 911. Stay out their way so I can live to fight another day. See, that's what people need to understand. Listen. These people getting themselves in all kind of trouble, getting killed. Yeah, they're getting killed. They might get $1 million or $2 million for wrongful death, but they can't spend it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, the people can get it done. They finished. It's over with. George Floyd, he got money.
Yeah,
he got money.
The most important thing is being safe.
Oh yeah, absolutely, no question about it. You got a chance. So that's what you need. That's what you need to be thinking about. You think about. Let's put it this way: when you think about all the judges, all the prosecutors, all the people that hate you, against you, the odds are stacked against you. You got to level the playing field some kind of way, and to do that, you got to stay within the confines and the boundaries of the law. At least that's how I look at it. You can look at it any kind of way you want to.
I mean, I partly disagree, partly agree.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what you do. Well, I'll tell you what you do. Part that you don't agree with, you just go out there and just handle your business out there in the street. And you tell me.
I ain't got no business in the street, number one.
Okay, well, there you
ain't
go.
nobody
Well, there you
trying
go.
to tag me. Ain't nobody getting aggressive with me.
There you go.
But
there you go.
To your point, with like you said, all these judges, all these prosecutors, all of these things are not in place to help us when we do call the law. Let's say we call the law because we beat them to the punch. It's not always going to be in our favor just because we called first. You know, there's sometimes domestic cases where men are now calling the police on women, right? Because they like, oh, I'm gonna call on her before she call on me. Sometimes they still end up getting locked up, right? Because it's still the perception that they're the aggressor, and so they still sometimes get in trouble. There's cases where a literal victim has called the police, and the police came in there, and the victim was now the suspect or the victim of the police. Now the police come in shooting the victim. So there's too many of those instances for me. I might make a police report, maybe. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I think for Black people, the law is not our savior. You know, it's not. I'm not saying break the fucking law. I'm not telling you that. But I'm saying don't depend on it. Definitely don't depend on it.
Well, I don't disagree when you say don't depend on it. You know, I do disagree with anyone who says disregard it. Okay, anybody who says, "Oh, you can disregard the law," no, I disagree with that 100%. You know, so anybody that tells me that, okay, you might as well disregard the law because it ain't gonna be your benefit, I said, no, well, I'm not gonna do that because first off, I really ain't got no opportunity for what is called a meritorious victory.
That was a big word. That was a big
right,
word.
Yeah.
That I've never heard of before.
You win. That means winning. A victory. Okay, another word for victory. Outcome within those court systems. So, that's what you need to worry about. You need to worry about getting yourself in a situation if you ever had to go in front of a judge that you're gonna win. And that's all I'm saying. I mean, people taking things from me. I just take them to court. I mean, take it. Okay, you take it. God, they told my vehicle. I didn't go up there. I just went and paid them that little $800 they asked for. Told them that I was going to sue them and told them how I was going to win. They said, okay, we're not going to give you your money back. You got your car. They're going to give you money back. But in the court of law, under the guidance of the law, I'm going to get paid. They're going to pay me. They're going to give me back my money and then some. You see, because I know the law.
Well, we'll see about that. We'll see about that.
Okay, well, I can tell you what happens. Let us know. It's gonna happen.
Okay. I'm not knocking. I'm just saying
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen because my circumstances was I had a vehicle parked at Meadowview Light Rail. There was no sign that says you had to have your car off the premises within a certain amount of time. There's no sign out there at all. My car was legally registered. Yeah, current registration, insurance. Wasn't dismantled, and they decided they was gonna tow it. They said because Regional Transit told them to tow it. Well, Regional Transit told you to tow it. You gonna tow it because they told you to tow it? When I went to pick up the car,
yes.
there was not even a release, a mandatory release for it. In other words, I just showed them my ID and they gave me and paid me, and they gave me the car. Yeah, there wasn't no release. Usually, the police have to release the vehicle if they had something to do with it, having to tow.
But the police didn't tow it. It don't sound like. Did the police tow it?
The police didn't tow it. The police didn't have them towed. They said that Regional Transit told them to tow it. Regional transit
But
can't tell you to tow vehicles.
why not?
There's certain laws
How
because they
regional
don't have
transit can't tell them to tow it? Now I'm the judge.
regional
Now I'm
transit.
the judge. Plead your case.
Regional transit cannot tell. Regional transit doesn't have the authority to have them tow the vehicle if there's no signs on off-street parking that says your car has to be off the premises within certain amount of hours. Can only be on the premises for a certain amount of hours because that's not public property. That's private property. That's what it's called off-street parking. I've been before doing this. Yeah, right. I've been beaten the same way I beat. Yeah, right, exactly. I beat a police officer, had a vehicle I was driving towed on off-street parking. Sure did, had a vehicle towed. Then had the mitigating gall to turn around and say, I put tags on the vehicle and had me downtown in Sacramento County fighting a misdemeanor case for putting tags on the vehicle. And we're down there. I picked 12 jurors in the box. 12 jurors came, 8 of them, 5 of them, 12, 6 of them, 12 said not guilty, and I beat the case. And then I turned around and sued the tow truck company.
How you got jurors in a civil case? 12 at that.
No. It was not a civil case. It was a misdemeanor. It was not. Well, listen. In civil, you have jurors too. I had 12 jurors in the box for a civil case.
Yeah, but not 12.
12 of them, yes, 12.
But not 12, though.
Yes, 12. Yes, 12. 12. 12. 10 plus
I didn't
12.
know that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you have 12
That's
for civil cases. Yeah, right. Yeah,
okay, well, I hope you win this other case.
Oh, I'm going to win. I always do. I always do win. No problem.
But I do got a question about how regional transit does not have the right to tell them to tow when it's their parking lot.
Because regional transit have the knowledge and the wherewithal not to have anybody's vehicle towed without the legal parameters in place. And even though, yes, it is not public, it's public parking, but it's off-street public parking. For them to be able to say, tow this vehicle, they have to have signs and that says your car can only be here for a certain amount of time. There is no signs at Melview Light Rail that says that. So your car could be out there forever.
I hope you win your case, but I disagree. Because if somebody came and parked their car in my driveway, I have no sign there, but I could have it towed.
Yes, you can. At your house, you can do that. Yes, you can. You can have them move.
Okay,
remove.
What if I had a business and I had a parking lot there and I have no signs there, but somebody came and parked there? I could have
what
them
you
towed.
would do is you could have them towed, but you have to first do certain things. Like tell them they have to have this car removed within 24 hours.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, they gotta like put something on your car to let you know.
Right,
they didn't put no
exactly.
sticker, no notice, no nothing.
Yeah, right, correct, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So you have to learn the law. Oh, I got a case. I ain't even worried about that case. That's a little small one right there. That's a little small one right there. Ain't nothing. That ain't nothing right there. That case is nothing. I ain't worried about it. You know. Then they took my vehicle and they stole stuff out of my car. Well, I charged them for that too.
Tack it on.
You know, and then they tried to start my car, messed up my engine in my car. I'm charging them for that too. See, so I mean, it's all part of the game. You know, you just can't go and start doing certain things to people without having to, think that it's gonna be cool. It ain't gonna be cool. And the problem with most people is they don't know the law. So they go in talking about I'm gonna do what they did in Judge Judy. They lose the case and they leave it alone. That's it. It's over with. They forget all about it. That's right. No matter what the judge says, the judge can say, well. The judge would say, I'm gonna give it to the defendant. And as a plaintiff, goodness well, that shouldn't happen. Well, you got to understand how to appeal the law. Listen, they know who I am. They're not going to, they know who I am. Okay. They're not going to sit around here playing no games with me, because they know what's going to happen. So, they're going to say, okay, let's Ted King in there. And we better act like we got some sense, because if we don't, he's going to make us pay.
Oh.
And that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
that.
that's it, Yeah. See, and so once that's why I say, you got to understand how the law works. It's slow, but it's good, And if you got to, you got to do certain things, you got to do certain things.
Slow.
It's going to work, It's slow. Unless you look like me, it's super fast. But if he's against me, but slow as heck when it comes to for the benefit. So that's it is what it is, But yeah, so yeah, that's we we cover a lot of stuff, Now we talked about this. We got into the law quite a bit, which is great. But the point is that we have some lawmakers in this country bending the rules and making things beneficial for those. And then we just had a situation where one of Lindsey Graham just passed away. You know who Lindsey Graham is?
I know he's a politician, a white dude.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Well, he just passed away. And so we got Donald Trump. He just had a conversation about how good a politician he was, and he'd be well missed, and this, that, and the other. I don't know if that's how Donald Trump actually felt about it, but there's a few people. Yeah, I don't know if that's really how Donald Trump feel about it. But there's because this is today is we're talking about this young man, Nolan Wells, update, but it also has to do with the most dangerous combat sport in the world, which is American politics, and independent media reports, right? Yeah, that's what this is. And so we're going to we're going to talk about this Lindsey Graham and what people thought about him. So let's go to this is one of my favorite guys here. He's becoming a fan favorite of mine, and Keith Boykins. And we're gonna let Mr. Boykins talk about what you feel about Lindsey Graham.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to stand here and pretend that Senator Lindsey Graham was a great and honorable man just because he's dead, because he wasn't.
Let's go ahead. Let's go back to him. Here we go. He's saying some very interesting things. And he's saying some very interesting things that I want to talk about after we get him situated here. He started the program, probably talking, not shutting down. But I want to make sure we get everything which Mr. Boykins had to say on the screen. So here we go. Mr. Boykins.
I'm going to do it. I'm not going to stand here and pretend that Senator Lindsey Graham was a great and honorable man just because he's dead, because he wasn't. Lindsey Graham was a miserable, evil warmonger with no principles. The sad, pathetic end of his career is a testament to a Republican Party that's become a cult to Donald Trump. I don't care what anybody says from the Republican Party. I'm not going to take any lectures from them after they support a president who virtually spit on the graves of John McCain, Robert Mueller, and Rob Reiner. What made Lindsey Graham so horrible is that he knew better. He was close friends with Republican Senator John McCain, the man Trump attacked in life and kept attacking after he died in 2018. And then he snuggled up to Trump like a puppy dog begging for a bone from his owner. What kind of man befriends the enemy of his deceased best friend? Trump gave out Lindsey Graham's personal cell phone number to the world, and Lindsey laughed it off like the beta male that he always was. What I hate about Lindsey Graham is that he knew exactly who Trump was from the beginning. He called Trump
a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot.
He said he's
unfit for office.
And said that he
doesn't have the temperament or judgment to control himself.
Graham said that Trump would be
the most flawed nominee in the history of the Republican Party.
And after all that, he became Trump's little lapdog. Yes, he briefly broke with Trump after the January 6th insurrection and said,
"Count me out. Enough is enough."
But the very next month, he was cozying up to Trump again. And just last year, Graham said that
Trump is my favorite president.
And why?
We're killing all the right people.
And that's who Lindsey Graham was, a man who got a hard-on for war. Afghanistan, Iraq, Venezuela, Cuba, Iran. It didn't matter for Lindsey.
I go back to South Carolina. I'm asking them to send their sons and daughters over to the Mideast.
Graham recently told Israel,
Why is it okay for America to drop 2 nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki? To Israel, do whatever you have to do.
I don't care if Lindsey Graham was gay and spent his whole life in the closet. That's a struggle his conscience had to deal with and take to his grave. I do care that he spent his entire career supporting a party that tried to hurt LGBTQ people. And that's the problem. It's the constant lies and hypocrisy from Graham and the Republican Party. When President Obama nominated a Supreme Court justice in 2016, Graham made up a new rule that we can't fill a vacancy in the last year of a president's term. But then when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died in the last few months of Trump's first term, Graham changed the rule and pushed Amy Coney Barrett onto the Supreme Court 1 week before Election Day.
And you could use my words against me, and you'd be absolutely right.
He did the same thing on abortion. First, he said
States should decide the issue of abortion.
Then a few months later, he supported a national abortion ban because
This is not a states' rights issue.
today's Republicans have no principles but power. If they will sell their souls to Trump, they'll sell their souls to the next highest bidder as well. But now that Lindsey Graham is dead and Mitch McConnell may be next, it's time for us to put a stop once and for all to the mad cult of Donald Trump.
So basically, he was talking about Lindsey Graham and how he's became a lap dog, a lap puppy for Donald Trump. Now, we're definitely going to spend the next half hour on this. We hope that you can still stay with us, Nicole, because I like it when you disagree.
Oh, you do?
I like the fact that I do. I like it that of course, makes it. And listen, it makes it more. Listen, if you agree with everything I say, it's no fun, right? I like it when you disagree because it adds to the show. Yes, we have to have that. You have to get more people that's disagreeable. I love it. So whatever you feel, how you feel, express that. But what you know anything about Lindsey Graham?
I don't know nothing about Lindsey Graham. No, I don't even know what state he is representing.
It's state of Kentucky. That's okay.
State of Kentucky.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. He ain't representing
I
no
recognize his face. Yeah, I recognize his face. I didn't know his politics. I didn't even know if he was a Democrat or a Republican. I do know that he's dead, and I don't know why. I don't know what happened.
Right. Well, some people say there might have been some play going on with that, but we haven't.
I heard that from somebody.
Yeah, right.
Because they said he was something about. They said he had just went over to Israel, and then he came back. They said there was nothing wrong with him, and then I guess he didn't wake up. Died in his sleep. Maybe did he die in his sleep?
He died some kind of way. He died. It was a quick death. It wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was sudden.
It was sudden. Yeah, right. Yeah, he was definitely.
Yeah, I heard that.
It was sudden, and it was for sure unexpected. But so he.
So what do you think happened?
Well, I mean, I think, be honest with you, all their lives are in peril. Be honest with you, I mean, all the Republicans, all the stuff that they're doing, Donald Trump's life is in peril. His kids' life is in peril because what they're doing not only is affecting everybody. It's not affecting. This is the thing, right? We have to never forget, never, ever, 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 ever forget that this so-called white supremacy. I'm not even going to give my opinion on it. This is what I hear: white supremacy. Manifesting itself by saying, you know what, you're white, you're white, you're white, you're white, you're white. That means we got most everybody in the United States is white. Yeah. So I'm gonna call you white. You're Italian, you're white now. You're Irish, you're white now. So everybody's white. Okay, and so
you're right.
And that was because we had did a video not too long ago, so they wouldn't be upset with the rich. Now the rich have turned their back on them and stabbing them in the back. All you people, we're stabbing, we're getting you like everybody else. You're getting, nobody is exempt. We're going to try to make economic slaves out of everybody, and then we'll give our kibbles and bits as we want to, as you bow and bend down, bend the knee, And so right now it's like, okay, all of them is in peril, right? Yeah, because there's not enough. They're not giving enough money. Like, listen, they got enough money to house everybody. Nobody would have to worry about any economic problems, period. I mean, they won't have to worry about no gas prices, no food, no shelter, none of this stuff, right? Yeah, see, so they're going back to the whole, the old oligarch, being oligarchs, in other words, only a few people with money, saying that, you guys are going to do what we say because we're going to make slaves, economic slaves out of every last one of you. And we don't care what you look like. And as you bend the knee, bow down and bend the knee to us, then we'll give you the kibbles and bits necessary to make you happy. And that's basically, what this whole thing is about. But it's not going to work because it's going to be very hard for them to overturn the system of the people, right?
What you mean?
The system of the people. In other words, it's the people who elect these leaders in this country. It's the people who say this is what we want, and we're going to put people in place so that they can give us what we're asking, right? We can put the Congress people in place. We can put the Senate people in place. We can make sure that the president is in place. We're going to make sure they have the overseers, the DOJ, the Department of Justice, the Department of Defense. Now they changed the Department of War. Won't have all these clowns doing this, right? And they have a bunch of clowns in place right now, running amok, making a laughing stock of this country. Now, once this country's leadership starts to erode, and these other countries see the chinks in the armor to overthrow the people of the United States, the people's going to start speaking. The people are going to say, now we're going to have problems with you, now we're going to have problems with these outside forces. We get bombed now. Right? You don't get no bombings in the United States. But what happens if they start bombing over here? What happens all of a sudden you see all these missiles coming in left and right? Oh, they're bombing Sacramento. They're bombing, you're gonna be happy. Yeah, you're gonna be happy about that. It's just Texas. Yeah. You're gonna be like, okay, no. We got this bomb just flew over the house the other day. That's when it's gonna be a awakening, right? You're gonna say,
well, damn, it's too late then. If that's when it's gonna be an awakening.
Well, it's on its way now. See, because they said, yeah, right. Because listen, you can't expect a country on earth to be in power. No country's been in power forever. They've overthrown every major army that's been in existence. So this country has the strongest military right now. But now you got some cuckoo crazy dude, with all these bombs, and these bombs, it takes a lot to make these bombs, right? It takes lots of money, lots of time, and you have to have the materials for that. And he is basically it's like driving a car, right? You on empty, right? You on empty, right? You can either park your car, until you got enough money to fill her up, or run out of gas. And that's what this dude is doing. He ain't parking the car. He's gonna keep running the car until it runs out of gas. And once it runs out of gas, it's their turn. You see? And that's what this clown is doing. See? Yeah, you see, and they put him in office. They did. Okay? Yeah. Genocide. Yeah, see. And so this whole the understanding of this how this country got strong is now in the minds of people. It was people that look like Obama that was keeping this thing afloat all the time. We didn't know it. You think about it. You think about it. You know, yeah, you think about it. You think about it. You think about how this country was built, who built it. You think about it, right? You see, yeah. See, so this is the thing that I'm saying. The same ones that the ones that we're talking about getting shot. Police gonna come to your house to go shoot you. Same people that similar. Same people that understand. That's yeah, same. And I understand that now. All like that.
See what?
Every single war, black people go back to Africa. Yeah, they don't want to see that. Yeah, that's what they don't want. Right? They don't want that.
No,
I don't care what they say.
no.
They don't want that. No, they don't want that. See. So what I'm saying to you is, it's a whole new. It's a brand new. It's brand new. It's a brand new. Yeah. Once this is over with, people need to go out and vote every 2 years to make sure this don't happen again. You need to go out there and vote every 2 years so this doesn't happen ever again. And that's what's going to happen.
It'll happen again, whether we vote or not. What about they say our vote don't even count.
Whose vote is that?
They say our vote don't even count. They say that. People.
Well, who is ours? Who is our vote?
American citizens that we're just voting to a system that's already designed and set up to do what it's going to do.
No, that's not true.
And the reason, okay.
That's not true. So let me ask you a question. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. You got $1 close by? You got $1 close by?
I do. Surprisingly,
yeah. Pick it up.
I got an actual $1.
Yeah, pick it up. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, you look at that. You look at that $1 real close from that. That side. The other side where you were looking at. Yeah, that side where you're looking at. You'll see all those symbols.
Yes.
A whole bunch of symbols on that, right? You never pay attention with them symbols.
Let me show it to the people, though. Let them see it.
Okay. You can see it. Well, they can't really see it from that far away. You got to go real close to your camera. But the point is, yeah. But they can look at it. They can look at all those pyramids and all those birds and this. That bird. What kind of bird is that? What kind of bird is that?
Don't matter. We need this information.
Yeah. Can you see what kind of bird that is?
Probably an eagle. That's an eagle.
No, it's not.
Be an eagle. Oh. Well, I can't see it. It's not an eagle.
It's not an eagle.
What is
it? So a lot of people. Let me tell you exactly what kind of. Let me ask Google.
What? I thought you knew.
Okay, let me see. What? I do know. I'm gonna try to get it up when I get it so people can see. I'm not sure if you can actually see it on this because this is
My $1 wasn't good enough to see. Here's a fresher one. It's unbelievable. I actually got $1 on me.
It says here it's a bald eagle, but from my understanding, it's supposed to be a falcon. But this is it says a bald eagle. But
the eagle always represent America.
Yeah, but it's my understanding it's supposed to be a falcon of some sort. But I mean, I'll check that.
But what was your point? You say that to say what though?
All these symbols have to do with let me see. It has to do with some things that's the pyramid. You know where pyramids are? You know where pyramids are, right?
I know it.
You ever, you ever see a pyramid?
Pyramids,
Have you ever seen a
no,
pyramid
I
in the
don't
United States? You ever see a pyramid? You don't see any pyramids and say there might be a pyramid somewhere. But yeah. But where have you seen a pyramid in the United
know.
States?
I seen a pyramid with my own eyes. You hear me?
Okay, say that one more time. I kind of breaking up. What did you say? Repeat that, please.
I saw
Hello?
a pyramid with my own eyes in the United States. You can't hear me?
There you go. Exactly.
I hope it's on your
I
side
can't
and
hear
not
you now. I hear
mine.
you perfect. No, I can hear you. I can hear you now perfectly. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay. I saw a pyramid in California, not just in the United States. I saw a pyramid in California.
Okay, all right. Yeah, well, I heard something about that also. Right. But there are
I seen
pyramids.
it.
Okay, I'm not saying that you didn't see it. I'm not saying where was that where was it in California? Okay. There's a building not too far from here that looks sort of like a pyramid on the other side of the river in West Sacramento.
No.
It looks
No. That's pyramid. No, you're talking about that
okay, so
that building. I'm talking about
yeah. So what's fake about what's fake and what's real about a pyramid? My mute isn't coming on?
Huh?
Are you saying the mute is coming on?
Your connection is kind of going in and out. I hope it's on your side, not
okay.
On my side.
Right. Well, I got several bars on this video. I mean, this is very strong.
You asked.
Yeah, I asked you where you saw the pyramid, and you said you don't remember.
Oh.
Yeah, well, on this end, it's everything's working great. I can see my mouth moving.
Okay, well, I never said I did not remember. So it's near LA. Going towards LA. Huh?
Okay. You said near. You said it's near going toward LA. Did you hear me that time? Okay, so it was near going to LA. It's a beautiful thing. It's the beautiful thing about this. This is being recorded, so it doesn't matter. I'm not going to argue with you. Point is that we can go back and listen and watch the video, and then say, "Oh yeah, she did or she did say that." That's not a problem. Point is that you know that it was in.
I never said I didn't remember.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's not. Once again, I don't. It's not important whether the point is that it was. It's in California. Yes.
But what was your point to asking that? You brought it up for a reason.
I probably have to find out where the pyramid was at.
You started with the pyramid conversation for a reason. Where were you going with
the pyramid conversation is because the pyramid is on the back of that dollar.
Right. So what does it mean then? You said you asked me, do I know what a pyramid means? And I said, no, I don't.
Well,
I just know a pyramid.
Right. There is some symbols having to do with certain things regarding the dollar, the value of a dollar. That dollar is a note. You see on that dollar, it says a note, right? So this is what right. So basically, it's a piece of paper that they say you can spend and purchase something with, right? Other than that, it's just a piece of paper, right? But they say with that piece of paper, you can purchase something with it, right? In exchange, it's an exchange. But for example, let's say you had information, right? And the information that you had was so much, the value was so great that they wouldn't charge you for anything. You could get as many houses, as many cars, as many, anything you wanted based on the information that you had. You don't have no money, but you have your input, your influence, what is called affluence, right? You have your affluence, right? Yeah, like for example, someone sees you on these shows, having these conversations, and they say, you know what, that person has a lot of intelligence. They know a lot of things about a lot of things, right? And I want to know some of the things that they know, and I am willing to listen to them so they can share with me the information that they have. That's going to help me and my family, right? So let's say that that was the case, and everybody said that we're not spending $1 with these oligarchs. Only thing we're going to do is we're going back to the barter system. I'm going to talk to Nicole, and I'm going to talk to her about some eggs. And if she wants to talk to me about some butter, I'll swap my butter for her eggs. You know, or half my butter for half her eggs. You see, that's called a barter system, right? Yeah. See, and so see, and so the people can run this country if they decide, you know what, we're going to unite together. You know, we're going to unite together.
Can I just stop you right there?
You can stop me anytime you get ready. Yeah, of course, right now.
I wouldn't hold my breath waiting for the people. Okay? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. And I said that it's gonna happen again, meaning whatever's going on in America is gonna happen again because it's been going on since the beginning of time. None of this shit changes. It's the same playbook over and over and over again. And the people, you know, we, the people, are not smart enough or willing enough to make ourselves uncomfortable enough to not spend this $1 that I'm about to spend. As soon as we get off of this podcast, I'm going to the store and I'm doing something with these $3 that I got. Okay. So I'm not waiting on the people. I'm the people. So I know how we operate. Okay. I know how we operate. Okay. Now, let me ask you about the pyramids. Have you ever seen a pyramid?
No.
You should go see that one in LA, which they say is, if you look it up, they'll say it was engineered in, I think they said like the 1960s or something. It was made by some engineers just because they had time, and I guess, to carve out a whole pyramid in the side of a mountain. I don't believe that. I believe, because I just seen this pyramid 2 years ago and it blew my mind because as far as I knew, pyramids were in Egypt. Pyramids were somewhere that I've never ever been. And then I look and there in the side of a mountain is a pyramid, like something that you would see in history books in Egypt or something like that. So that tells me pyramids ain't just where they told us it was. Pyramids are probably everywhere, or we're not where they say we are. Whatever. We don't know. We don't know. All we know is what we're told, and that's the fucked up part. We don't know nothing but what we're told. So, I don't know. That's my little rant about that.
Okay. All right. Good. Here's one. I hear you. You know, you know, don't know exactly when you say, "Hey, how you doing?" Yeah, I'm looking at this picture right here, right? And this picture looks like it might be the pyramid that you're talking about, but I don't know. Well, I'm gonna show it so you let me see. If this is the pyramid that you're talking about. It says Pyramid, California. Is that the pyramid you're talking about? The side of a mountain?
That's probably the mountain, but there you could see the actual pyramid coming out of the mountain because it was off of a lake. But
yeah, right.
Like that is just, I know, but you could see a pyramid like stone, not just a mountain shaped like a pyramid. It's actual stone coming out of the mountain.
Okay.
And that's probably the location. You just don't have the right picture. Oh, maybe Okay, you see right there, that top one? Or now it's on the bottom?
It's right here. Right
Yeah,
there.
click it.
Ah, I did click it.
That's the pyramid.
Okay.
That's what you'll see on the way to LA.
Okay.
Go down I-5.
Okay, so it's the side of a mountain just carved out like a pyramid. It's actually not the whole thing. It's not like the whole thing.
Well, I wouldn't say carved out. I wouldn't use the word carved out, but I would say that's a pyramid.
Okay,
coming
that's
out
fine.
the side
That's
of a
fine.
mountain.
That's fine. Okay, I got your point. I get your point. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is that symbols, right? You're a part of our organization, and with you being in that organization, you're part of our society, which means that we're going to take care of you in terms of your finances and being able to, move in a way where you'll never be broke. And that's what I'm saying. And I'm saying, even though you say you got those $3 and you're gonna go spend it, because that's what you do. Some people think, have a wherewithal to understand, we need to we need to create this environment of power to where they can't do this to us. Anyway, that's another story. My point is that
I agree with that.
Okay, well that's fine. Well, that's good. I mean, your opinion is you vote your opinion, based on what you think and how you feel about certain things. But believe me, there is you become different in the eyes of people when they think that you understand the playbook, when you have access to the playbook, and that
I want to know what
changes
you
everything.
think about the pyramids, though. You brought up the pyramids, and I know you brought it up because it's on this dollar, but I want to know what you think about a pyramid being in California.
Well, I don't know anything about California pyramid. I just never found out about it from you. Okay, so from my knowledge, I didn't know that much about it.
You have no thoughts?
To me, it's a carving of a pyramid on the side of a mountain. I don't consider that a pyramid, although it does have a carving of a mountain.
You literally think somebody carved that out? Carved out stone?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. That's what they do with pyramids. They carve out stone.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Okay, so you're saying all pyramids have been carved out, are made, right? Built, all pyramids, right? So even the ones in Egypt, the ones that we read about in history books. But you don't think that one was the same as the ones that we read about in Egypt or in the history books?
Well, it could have been started out like that. Excuse me. There could have been the intent for it to be like that. But they didn't finish it, right? Because what happens is on the pyramid, these pyramids, I got people, waving at me and talking to me, so I'm waving at them. But the pyramid, the Egyptian pyramids were designed in a way where they can, and they did a study on this with Tesla, where they got electricity. Remember, we talked about electricity being free. It's in the air, it's the airborne, and you can harness it and you can use it. It's free, but they put it in cables and they pay us, and they make us pay for us using their cables with this electricity. It's part of how they do things.
So okay, so you're saying that's the point of the pyramids, that it's some sort of power. The pyramids in Egypt. And do you think the pyramid in California is the same type of pyramid or no?
No, I think they just started to carve out a pyramid. They may not have finished it because it obviously takes a lot to finish to do these pyramids.
So you think it's a fake? You think it's like that building in California? I mean, in Sacramento.
Well, when you say fake, means when we talk about the purposes of a pyramid, then you have to distinguish what would be the purpose of a pyramid. What would be the purpose of a pyramid? In other words, there's a reason why they have pyramids. And over there in Egypt, it was discovered that they used the pyramid as energy, to harness energy, right? To harness energy from the environment, and they, Tesla, did. That's why Elon Musk called his company. I'm not sure if Elon Musk actually didn't start Tesla. He just bought into Tesla, and became the CEO of Tesla. But the company was before he, he wasn't the founder of it. So, but Tesla, the man Tesla, was a person who understood that there was energies, this all around, that could light up light bulbs and all that. And he took it to J.P. Morgan, and J.P. Morgan said, "I'm not doing this because I need to make money. I can't make money giving away energy for free. Telling people how to get energy for free." So that's why you keep running down, people say, we'll spend your money on electricity. People do that. Plug in, and pay us this money for your electricity. It's free to us, but we're gonna charge you for it. And we're gonna put it in everybody's
pyramids in Egypt? You think the pyramids in Egypt provide that type of power, but you don't think that pyramid in California is the same type of pyramid?
No, it's not. It's not. It's just from just carved. When I see it's as a carving from the side of the mountain, and they may have had a thought of doing that.
How do you know the mountain just didn't cover the other side?
I don't know that. I don't know that.
How do you know that pyramid don't harness the same energy that the pyramid in Egypt? Pyramids in Egypt.
Well, it makes sense. It makes sense that it's close to water. That part I will give you. That it's close to water, which means that there's maybe some form of some energy that they're going to, try and produce with it being so close to that water.
Try and produce.
Because we know there's a static. Yes, try and produce.
You act like this pyramid just popped up there a year ago or something, 2 years ago. That pyramid has probably been there for hundreds.
Well, I don't really know. I have no idea.
Me either. I'm just thinking.
Well, I'm just going by what I'm just going by what you're saying. There's one thing about you that I like. This is what I like about you. You'll say some things you might not know anything about it, but you will talk about it. You see, which is fine. See, so what I'm saying to you is that what I'm saying to you is that you ask me a question, for the answer. For me, I give you the answer, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. So I don't mind doing that. And so, but what I'm saying to you is that when we put things in perspective, it probably had the intent of producing some type of energy because it's close to the water. That's what I'm saying. Because it's so close to that water, it's close to that lake. Now, what the thought process was, how they were going to do it, I have no idea. But I do know that there's electricity.
Yeah,
you wasn't asking that?
I wasn't asking how.
Okay,
I wasn't asking you how they were going to do it. I just wanted to know if you thought that pyramid was a correlation to the pyramids in Egypt, or the same type of pyramid, or even created around the same time.
Right. Well, I don't know. Well, what I want to do is I want to kind of make a pivot real quick, because we were talking about Lindsey Graham, and we're talking about politicians. Right?
Oh yeah.
And then this is how we started talking about the pyramid on the dollar. Right, their symbol is symbolic, right? And then they got so Lindsey Graham, like he was saying, Mr. Boykin was saying that that he was kind of scandalous, and other people say the same thing. But what I'm saying is, it's all this, this society within society, right? And this is what we need to be careful of when we start talking about how to change. Yeah, well, there's secrecy, right? And then there's a lot of secrecy on those dollars. The dollar you got in your hand, there's little symbols on it that you don't know anything about. But I bet you if you Google and or AI, it'll tell you about what them symbols mean. You know, and you can probably come back, on the show and start telling me exactly what they mean because you've done your research.
I ain't doing no homework.
You could do
I'll
that.
tell you that right now.
Okay,
I ain't doing no homework.
I heard that, but that's good. That lets me know that you're into certain, fast track, which is fine. I don't expect you to do no homework either. I think that you're probably along the lines of you get a, I don't see you. Listen, so to be clear, I don't view you as a person that do a lot of research and you got intelligence enough to know certain things. So I don't look at you as a professor. I like to get your input, what you think and how you feel about these situations. And all that, it's invited. I mean, your point of view, and I don't see a problem with that. So by all means, please, give your input, and express, how you feel. And like, for example, you ain't gonna do no research, which is great,
I ain't gonna do no research on this dollar. I do research in general when I need to.
Okay, I'm sure.
So don't make it sound like I don't.
I'm quite sure that you do have research on certain things that you like. For example, if we got to do something with taxes, things of that like, you would go ahead and do your research on that. So I don't view you as a person that says I do.
I do research on what I need to do.
That's the part that I'm talking about. That's the part. That is the part that I'm talking about. That you would probably do the research on.
I've had to fight cases.
Yeah, who?
I've had to fight doctors. I've had to do things that require more than taxes. I've had to do research. I make class. I have to do research on anything that I see.
Okay, well, I'm just going by what you said. That you don't do research. That's what you said.
No, you're not. You made that up.
Okay, well, we got.
No, you're not going by what I said.
We got the tape. We got the tape. That's the beautiful thing about this thing. It's being recorded.
I said I'm not doing no homework on no dollar. That's what I said. We don't need the tape.
Okay. So you don't do it. There you go. Well, you know what? That sounds like you said that too. Okay. That you ain't gonna do no homework on the dollar. But I think I might have said research. But you might have said homework. But I think I said research. But anyway, the point is that.
Right. I said homework. Okay. You did say research.
Okay.
I said homework.
Okay. All right.
But I'll make you a deal. If you do some homework on pyramids, I'll do some homework on the dollar.
I already did some work. So I already did some homework on pyramids.
Okay.
That's why I'm telling you about Tesla. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you about Tesla.
Okay.
Yeah, see. So so I guess you better hurry up with the dollar because I'm already ahead of the game when it comes to research on the pyramids.
I don't know if you. Now I got to do some research to make sure that what you said is true because I know about Nikola Tesla. I didn't hear that it had to do with pyramids, but maybe that's what you got out of it. Maybe
here's the point that I'm trying to make, right? It's not necessarily about the pyramid per se. It's about the symbolic ideation behind the pyramid.
They're charging us for energy that's free.
That too, right? And right, exactly. And these are the things that, for example, to help us. And when I say us, I'm talking about people, everybody in this great experiment called democracy. That they call this the land of the. Let me see, the home of the brave and the land of the home of the brave and the land of the free. Is that how it goes? Anyway, it's nothing.
Land of
there
free.
You go. That's it. That's exactly how it goes. Yeah, and there's nothing free about this place we live in. There's nothing free, especially when you say that we're going to, we're going to go with the system, how the system says do things, how the system says, we're going to pay for electricity. We're going to pay for the gas. We're going to pay for, the housing. We're going to pay for all this stuff that a lot of people, rich people don't pay for. But we pay for it, right? Because we help them become rich, you see. And so if this is, Oh no, they're not paying for
The
it.
rich people ain't paying for it.
No, they're not paying.
You know why? Because they live by that lake, by that pyramid in California. They
Okay,
just
there you go.
harvesting the
That's
free
why.
energy.
While
While
that's
we
it. Now,
sitting
over
up
that
here talking
hill,
about
listen, over that hill, over that mountain, there's all kinds of mansions that we don't see. I got it. There's all kinds of mansions that we don't see over that hill that we don't see. I get it.
there's
I get
houses
it.
right there. There's houses right
Yeah.
there on that lake. There's people who are
Okay.
on that lake.
Okay.
And
Okay.
maybe they don't have to be that close to,
Okay.
if it's harvested energy, and maybe
Okay.
they can be hundreds of miles away. They just have to tap in. They just know how to tap in, and we don't. If you say the rich have this,
Okay.
I
Well,
see
let's
you
look
get
at
crazy.
no, not really. I mean, I'm not getting tired of you. I mean, listen, if you want to have, listen, the conversation is fine with me. But I'm saying to you is let's say, for example, Nicole decided that she didn't want to pay for electricity anymore.
And
What's going to happen?
Nicole would be in the dark.
Nicole would be in the dark. You see? Yeah, you see? And I'm glad you said that. Not me.
Okay.
I'm glad you said that, not me.
Okay.
Because me, if I didn't pay for electricity, all the lights would be on.
All the lights is gonna be on?
Yeah, all the lights gonna be on, yeah. All the lights
Okay.
gonna be on. All the lights gonna be on. Yeah, see, I don't pay for no electricity, all the lights still gonna be on. Right. Yeah, see. All my lights gonna be on. Yeah, see, all the lights gonna be on. And yeah, see, because I've taken a lifetime figuring out how to bypass all this stuff that's free that I'm being charged for. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, how to bypass all this stuff that is for free that I'm being charged for. Yeah, see, that's what I spend time figuring out, right? How to do these things, right? And so, like, for example, I don't have a car. If I have a car, I have to have some tools. See, most people get a car, that's fine, they get a car, but I don't buy a car without having tools. Because I have to fix it when it breaks. See?
Okay.
Because I'll fix it for free, as opposed to taking it to somebody who's going to fix it and charge for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
See. So I'm a person that needs to have tools to be able to work this system of freedom. Okay, I need to have tools. I need to have tools to make it work. Otherwise, I got to be like everybody else. That's fine. I'll be like everybody else, paying for stuff, right? Yeah. I got to go in my pocket. I got to pay this person, that person, this person, that person for stuff that I know that I can produce for free. And so that's what. Oh yeah, you got to like give me a little tour of the house. I see. Okay, it got room. You got rooms going through there. Huh?
Yeah, that's the room.
Yeah,
Here's the living room. We got an upstairs.
All right. Ivy's upstairs. How's she doing? Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. See, so that's what I'm saying. You see, so when you, like, for example, a person says, well, like you go to rent you a house, and you in that house, and they tell you that house that you are renting is $2,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
And you say you're gonna move into the house, and you're gonna spend $2,000 a month, right? If you want to live there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. Well, see, I try and figure out how to get past all that. Yeah, I work on trying to bypass the $2,000 a month, the $1,000 a month, the $500 a month. And that's what I do. Yeah.
Well, you need to tell us, the rest of us, how to do that.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what we'll do in the next upcoming shows, because this one right here, we're about ready to shut it down. But I will definitely. Well, let me give you an example real quick. I got 20 minutes I can spend on a situation, right? Right. Like, for example, you spend. Okay, here's something that I think you can relate to, because this is what you do. you help people create businesses for accounting. Correct? That's what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Yeah. See.
You can say that.
So you will turn. So you will say. So you will. Obviously, what you will do, because we went past the Lindsey Graham. We didn't talk about Lindsey Graham. Now we're on something else. This show is called Advertising and Marketing. Business. We're in the business section. So everybody who's watching this, we're on the business now. This is what we're talking about now. We're no longer talking about Lindsey Graham. We're talking about business now. So we extended the program to go ahead and talk about business, which is fine because this sponsor is advertise my name and basically advertising and marketing. And so this is what we're going to be talking about now. So and here it is here, advertising and marketing. So, this right here is, for example, says make money while you sleep, right? So it says make money while you sleep. So if you, for example, you decide you do taxes, right? You do taxes. And you're going to help people get in business to do taxes, right?
Yeah, help people start their tax business. Yeah.
You're right. Mm-hmm. You help people start their tax business, right? Mm-hmm. So when you teach people to do taxes, do you teach them how to do everything that you can do?
No. Okay. I would for an additional fee, but I provide them the tools to do. They should already know how to do taxes coming to me.
Right.
Or they can learn basics, but not everything that I can do now.
Okay. All right. So let's say you decide that you were going to specialize in setting up you're going to set up, like, for example, an LLC. And the LLC teaches people how to, I can't recall the name right now, but it'll come to me as I keep speaking, how to set up things, for example, how to hide all your businesses, all your assets, right? You teach people how to hide all their assets. In other words, I don't want people to know about my 50 houses. So I set it up to where, it's what is it called now? It's it's at the tip of my tongue. Right. But anyway, it's set up where all my assets are hit.
That's a trust, right? You're talking about a
trust. There you go, trust. A trust. Yeah, right, a trust, right, a trust. Yeah. So you set up trust, right? Your whole thing is setting up trust, right? And people pay you.
Okay.
And you got about 1,000 people. About 1,000 people paying you $30 a month to set up, to make sure that they trust is set up and running. Every year it's set up and running. All year long it's set up and running, right? You got 1,000 people. They don't know how to set it up, but you know how to set it up. And you set it up and they pay you every single month $30. Yeah, it's still there. But every single month, $30 they pay because in case you need to go in there and take care of some other stuff. You got 1,000 people. That's $365,000 a month. You see, those are the things that I do, right? But you know what I do before I do that? I do shows like this so people can trust me. They know who I am. They know what I'm talking about. They know that I have a certain level of intelligence on what to do and how to do it. They trust me. They trust that what I do is going to happen. And that's what these shows I do for you. I'm not doing these shows just because I like getting on the talking. I do the shows where people can hear me talk and believe that I know what I'm talking about and trust that what I say is going to work. Yeah, see. Okay. And that's what I do. Yeah, see, that's what I do. Now, in a couple of months, I'm gonna have so much money. I'm not King of New Street Peanut. I'm Ted King. Okay. So I'm telling you what's real. It's not no delusional type stuff. I've been working on this for 7 years, really it's been over almost 8 years. But it's been going on for 5 years or 6 years, almost 6 years since, but it's been going on longer. It's been going like 8 years. So let's go say 8 years.
What?
To where I was Well, okay, I do certain things. I set certain things up to get paid on it, right? It might look a certain kind of way, but it takes a while to set things up, to get things put in place to where people say, yeah, this guy right here, I want to do business with him. I got people right now talking, that would like to do business with me now, but we're adversaries right now. We're adversaries. We're not on the same team, right? Yeah, we're fighting. We're on the opposite side, right? We're on the opposite side. We're on the opposite side. You see, but they're getting paid, to be on the opposite side. My payday is coming in about 3 or 4 months. In 3 or 4 months, I'll be looking, I'll still be doing these shows, but I'll be talking about what I'm talking about now. How to plant and grow large streams of income. That's what I'll be talking about. How to plant and grow large streams of income. Because when people say, well, how you doing? Well, look at my car right there. My house is over here. Doing fine. But it's not about me, it's about you. You see, it's about you, it's not about me. See, so I mean that's how the setup goes. See, because a lot of people think, I don't know, I got family members think I ain't doing too good. They think, because they see me walking around with dogs and, oh, you ain't doing too good. I'm like, okay, but if they think it's cool. You see, I don't change people's mind, right? The one thing about walking around, it's another thing. I subscribe to people walking around with dogs. Yeah, ride around on bikes. Yeah, because you never know how people feel about you but you ain't, even though you ain't asking for nothing, you never know how people feel about you just from their appearance. Even though you ain't asking for nothing. You ain't loan me $1, I need $10, I need some money. It's just the appearance.
How do you know family members feel that way about you? Where you get that from?
I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about me. I ain't never say about me.
Oh, I thought you were talking about you.
I said people should. So let me say you're a trillionaire, right? You're a trillionaire. You tell everybody knows you're a trillionaire. You know how many people going to be asking you for money? People you ain't even heard of. Everybody, exactly. Everybody. Most of your day is gonna be spent from telling people, no, I ain't got, I can't, my money, I can't, I ain't got it like that. You're a trillionaire. Well, oh yeah, I want, yeah. But they advertise you being a trillionaire. You see, I mean that's what they advertise. You got people, all these here so-called billionaires and trillionaires that you see in front, Facebook and all this other Amazon and all these people that they're talking about all this money. They're just props for the people who got the real money. Because these other people got the real money, people are always asking them for money. So they keep talking, they put them out there in the face and say, oh yeah, you're a part of the billionaire boys club, but you're gonna have to answer all these questions because people may ask me for money, not me. That's the kind of game to play. Yeah, see. But anyway, so yeah, I'll be talking about that shortly, so we're in the next 15 minutes, we'll shut it down. But for the most part, that's what this whole this is part of the process. The part of the process is to be in a position to be able to cultivate trust. People trust you. He don't need my money. He got all kind of money. She got all kind of money. They don't need my money. They're millionaires, multi-millionaires. They're damn near trillionaires. They don't need my money. So whatever they say, when you talk about certain things, then people believe that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen anytime I do business. I don't never do bad business. All my business has been great. I got a situation where I went to school of life and graduated. Yep. Yeah. School of life.
You graduate live, right?
Oh, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can graduate school of life. You can graduate in school of life. You can graduate, right? And you graduate. You can and enroll again. Yeah, you can graduate and enroll again. Okay. So it's just like, it just depends on what you decide to do, how you decide to do.
When I graduate, I ain't enrolling again.
Well, there you go. That's what you do. When you decide to graduate, then you But you about to go and take them $3 and take it to the store and spend them. I mean, that's what you said. Take them $3, go to the store and spend that money. So I mean, that's what you're gonna do. But if you like everybody else, every time you spend $1, you lose $1. Every time you lose $1, you start sweating about the dollars you don't got when you ain't got it. That's what people do, right? Correct? Yeah, that's exactly what they do. Then they start stressing behind the money that they don't have. Yeah, see, exactly. See, like for example, I'll give you a good example. You and your daughter decide to buy a motorhome. I'm gonna say this is hypothetical, right? This is hypothetical. And in the motorhome, you decide, you know what, we're gonna spend 6 months together. It ain't gonna be cool, but for 6 months we're gonna save. We'll be able to save in 6 months. If it's $3,000 a month rent, right? If it's $3,000 a month rent, you're gonna be able to spend. You're gonna be able to save $18,000. About $18,000, right? I think that's what it is. 18,000. You're gonna be saying $18,000, right?
For 6 months.
$18,000. That that money you can take that money and put it in the bank, right? And spend another 6 months together, right? But in the 6 months, in the next month, you borrow off of that money, right? That 16,000. You just borrow. You don't touch it. You just borrow off. So you can create using their own money. Another 6 months go by. Now you got another $16,000, which is $32,000. Okay, you got $32,000. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna buy some property. You buy some property. You don't buy a house, buy some property, and you erect the house on top of it. Now you got equity. You got instant equity, and you borrow using that equity off of that thing. Now you being a tax person, you decide, well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a certain amount of dollars and put it in some stock, some hot stock. Let's see that Elon Musk stock, which is the X stock, right? So you take 10,000, you put it in that stock. Is it X? Yeah, Elon Musk, and then the X stock that he's trying to sell.
Twitter? Oh, X, yeah.
Yeah. So you know that's just to get the money in because they're gonna draw the money out.
Yeah.
So you put in $10,000, and if you make 10,000, you take your $10,000 out. Your other 10,000 is still in there, right? And if it goes up to 20,000, you keep that money in there. If it goes up to 30,000, you keep that money in there. And then if it goes
you're
up
talking
to
about
50,
SpaceX?
SpaceX, right?
Can I interrupt?
Absolutely, sure you can. Go ahead.
So soon SpaceX went public, I put $100 in there.
Okay.
And I ain't done nothing but loss. It keep dropping every single day.
Right.
Dropping.
Right. You know why? Because you're supposed to put it in.
I do.
Why?
But I want to hear what you got to say.
You're supposed to put it in
before
when it first opened, and in that first week, take it out. Take your profits out. Take your money out.
You got to. No. Let me even back you up because that's what I thought.
Okay, well, you said you kept your $100 in. Wait a minute, you said $100.
Went up. I couldn't take it out because it was less than $100. You got to do it before it goes public, right?
Of course you do.
It's up because all of these investors are putting their money in. And then soon as it goes public, those investors take their money out. And
but hold on a second. Just listen on what you just now said. I got 5 people that invested $1 million, right? I put those 5 people put their 5 million in and then took their 5 million out. Where's the profit at? There's no profit unless there's 5 million people that put that. Okay, let me say one person puts 5 million in. There's no profit if he just pulls it out, right? That 5 million is in there, right? He's got to wait till somebody put in $1 million or at least another 5 million. As soon as that happens, he pulls his money out. You see what I'm saying? You see, that's what I mean. And that's what you have to do. You have to go ahead and understand. As soon as it goes public is when you pull your money out. Maybe even the next day. Or as soon as
you got to do it before it goes. This is what I'm saying. We're going back and forth. We're saying the same thing, but the timing is wrong. Because I did it soon as it went public. The same.
I understand. And what you're saying is not. And what you're saying is not wrong. What you're saying is not wrong.
I'm saying it's already too late.
What I'm saying to you is what you're saying is not wrong. The problem is that you have to have inside stocks before it goes public.
There you go. Now
you didn't have it. And you didn't have that.
Now we're saying the same thing. Exactly.
Correct. And you didn't have that. Right. See?
Exactly.
You see? Otherwise, you would have to go ahead and put like I said, if you have 5 million, as soon as somebody put in, you got to pull your money out. As soon as it goes up, within an hour, you pull your money out.
As soon as it go public.
As soon as it go public, you pull your money out. The minute it goes public, whoop, you pull your 5 million out.
Right. But who can do that? Who can do that? But who can buy the stocks before it goes public? I'm asking, like, I really don't know.
Stockholders, people who are going to sell the stock. For example, you decide that you're going to go ahead and you're going to get a business. Yeah, right? And you're going to go public with your business, right? And you get investors. You go around getting investors. Let's say, for example, you want to chain a restaurant, right? Because you got a family member wants to have wants to go into culinary. And that person says, you know what, I need Nicole, I want to go into business, I want to get investors, I want to get people, I want to get a chain of, like, I want to be like Chipotle, or I want to be like Panda Express, right?
Okay.
And then you say, well, we need to go ahead and at least get something in place to start franchises from. But before we do that, we're going to go out and we're going to try and get people to investors, right? Buy stock, right? So they're buying stocks. They buy X amount of stock before it goes public. They got so much stock in there, right? They got so much stock already. For example, they got. Well, I'm gonna give you invest $10 million for let's say 10 million shares. I mean, that's just I'm just saying that, But let's say you let's say 5 million shares, okay? So that's like saying I'm paying $2 a share. And so, so basically what they do, they got the shares already in place. And then when you go public, they got all them shares, right? People are buying those shares. Instead of $2, they buy them for $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50, right? Yeah, they're buying their shares. They selling their shares. And that's how they start making money off of the shares, right? The shares might not be able to be sold until maybe the restaurant gets very popular. All franchises all over the United States. And and outside. And all franchise, right? And that's how you get your stock sold. But you pay $2, or you pay what you paid for it, like say $2 a share, and it went up.
Yeah, I don't know.
It went up open. When it went open, it went up 100 to 200. I'm just saying hypothetically, But that's basically how the game works, right? Mm-hmm. So no, once you get that, so once it went open, that it could probably go down.
Right.
And it did. But you said all you put in was 100.
Uh-huh.
So now you gotta wait. Now you gotta wait.
I mean, no, I don't have to wait. I could take it out, but I'm trying to wait till I at least get back my 100. I don't want to take it out at 80.
No, right. You can dollar cost average too, which means if you think it's going to be projected for it to go up, you can say, well, I got $500. I pay all my bills. I will put maybe $50 in a month. Dollar cost average, whether it goes up or goes down. That's any stock. It don't have to be that X stock. It can be just any stock. You put it in X because you knew about it. You don't ever sell. You sell. You buy the how's it go? You buy the rumor, sell the. Buy the rumor or sell the. But how's it go? I'll tell you in a second. Let me see how it works. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Yeah. You buy the rumor, sell the news.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you do. You buy the rumor, sell the news, right? Yeah. So you buy the rumor and you sell the news, right? So in other words, you buy the rumor that we're gonna sell some stocks. We're selling stocks. We got Tesla selling the stock. You buy it. That's when you start buying the rumor, and then so the stock just hit. And that's when you sell. Yeah, the news it came out. Yeah, that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
You buy the rumor, sell the news. Yeah, see, so yeah, so that's how you have to know. You have to know the game, and once you learn the game, you got action. Yeah, see, so but you got to the only thing you got to do now is you just got to find some stock. Where you get your $100 back, and they're gonna charge you for getting your money back. So you're gonna lose if you're looking for the 100. You're gonna lose money if it goes up back to $100. You got
they don't charge you.
They don't charge you for the
exactly.
They charge you for the commission.
For no, you can do it through Cash App. You can do it through Fidelity. You don't need a stockbroker.
No, you don't need a stockbroker. The stockbroker you don't need, but you still have to pay. Like for example, what is it? Coinbase. I had Coinbase, and they got a little small percentage.
You probably got. I used to have Coinbase.
Yeah, because I bought.
I don't think
the Dogecoin.
I don't think there's a fee.
I had the Dogecoin, made money, and I sold my stuff back and got my money before it crashed. It might went up again, but see, I made money off of that. I know how to.
What stock was that?
It was a coin called the Dogecoin. It was Elon Musk Dogecoin.
Oh, Dogecoin. I remember when that went big.
Yeah, right. Yeah. See, I bought that before it was really like it was nothing. I bought a bunch of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it went up like 13 cents.
Yeah.
Sold that stuff. Got me some money.
I did the same thing with XRP. I made a little money off of
right.
XRP.
That too. Yeah. See, but you got to diversify. Put your money in a little different ones. When they go up, you got to know how to.
I'm putting my money right back in my pocket.
Okay, that's what you do. Unless you play the long game. If you know how to play the long game, you can get you a quick lick. And I just told you what to do. I told you how to do it. I just gave you some game already. I told you, if you sell, yeah, okay, there you go. There you go. That's all you got to do now. You got clients, and you got 1,000 clients, you should be okay. If you got 1,000 clients, you should be all right. If you have 1,000 clients. But you see, you got your clients. Are you
asking if I have 1,000 clients? Is that a question?
No, I'm not asking at all. No.
You said it like 3 times, but you want to know something.
Well, no, the way I see it, I'm not asking the question, but if you was to ask me, if I thought you have 1,000, if you asked me the question, but I think you have 1,000 clients, the answer is no. I don't think you have 1,000 clients. You may work with 1,000 people off and on, but you have a client to say, I'm your client. See, because I put you up on a little bit of game the other day. You ain't did nothing about it, but I don't never tell nobody what to do. How to do it.
You put me up on what game? I'm listening.
Yeah.
Okay, you put me up on what game? I missed it.
I told you to go to add my name and get you an email. Get you an email address. You ain't done it. So
no, I sure
you asked
haven't.
me, well, what's that gonna do? You asked me, so what's that gonna do? And I said, well,
no, I think you told me. I think I asked you and you told me.
Okay, yeah,
but
right. So
I did have a question about that though. Do I have to get an email?
Yeah, you do.
I have like 5 already. See that?
Yeah, but the 5 emails you got ain't making you have 5 emails you got ain't making no money.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's not.
Yeah,
why is the email requirement?
Well, because you have to have an email. Yeah, you can. Because the email you have is within your network. Within your network, you have to have like minds, right? And here's the reason why. At some particular point, you're gonna want to, go to the store, buy some cute outfits, some cute shoes, some perfume, new purses, and you're gonna want to go on a trip. And when you go on a trip, you ain't gonna want to spend. You ain't gonna want to worry about how much money you spend. And when you get back, you ain't gonna want to worry about how much money you got left. You see? Yeah, to say I had a great time, right? See? And so that means that when you bought them shoes, you kept making money even though you wasn't working. And when you went on your trip, you kept making money even though you wasn't working. And when you came home and rested, you made money even though you wasn't, you just got home. See? Yeah, because your network kept feeding you while you was away doing what you do. And that's what you have to do. You have to create a network. And that's what that does, help you create a network. And if that makes sense to you, you're going to go ahead and get that email, because the email says, if I promote my business, I'm going to either through the barter system get promoted, or I'm going to get some money, for promoting my business to somebody else's, Yeah, my network, I mean, it's see, I can't tell everything. I just tell people the little small part. And you know what the small part they want to hear? The free part, where it ain't gonna cost them no money. It ain't gonna cost you no money to get it free. It's simple, that's free, right? But the email is gonna be what's gonna take to link you to the rest of your people. Yep, and then so that's how it's gonna work. Let's say, real simple. You get 10 class this week. I got something. I got all this here powder stuck in my throat. Yeah, can I use that? Yeah, well, I got that. Well, no, what I got. What I got is I take this beetroot powder and this ginger powder, because it cleans out it cleans out all your parasites. So that's all. I'm in great shape. I got it forever. But what I'm saying is that so what it does is it connects you to your network, and that's what that pyramid stuff behind that dollar is about. Yeah, see, but you ain't got no network, see. But those people with all that money got one. They got all them pyramids that we connected to. We had this connection, and that's what them people was about. See, yeah, see, and that's what it's all about. See, and so they know what it means. You don't. You ain't part of that network, otherwise you wouldn't have. I know you ain't part of that network because you don't know what the hell I'm doing. See? And that's the difference. See, so when you understand certain things, how certain things work, you understand, okay, we can get out of this. We can get out of this. We ain't gotta be, we can get out of it. We can slowly creep to the top. And now is the time. This is the best time for it to happen. This is the very best time for it to happen. There's been, you've heard of things like, this is, we hear people talk about wealth creation. Oh, this is the best time. This is the time there's going to be more money exchange than any time in the history of the world. This is when it's going to happen. Well, this is the time when there's going to be change like no other time in the history of man. This is the time. Yeah, see. But it ain't going to happen unless you get involved in
Get
this.
that email. It ain't going to happen unless I get that email.
It ain't going to happen for you.
I got somebody else telling me the same thing. Telling me the same thing about their network.
Did you get your email? Well,
No.
listen, I don't know about anybody else's. I don't know about anybody else's network. I have no idea.
Yeah,
but I do know that no one has the system of how this thing works better than I do. That much I do know. Because it took me a long time to figure the shit out. Yeah, it took me a long time. Yeah, exactly. I got the one little component that I didn't understand. I said, damn it, I got this thing as cool as brilliant. I don't know how to finish this thing off. And I'm driving to Napa one time. I'm driving to Napa and a person calls me on the telephone and says, I got something I want to send you. It's something you might be interested in. And they sent it to me. And it was the one piece of the puzzle. Their thing was different than what I'm talking about. But it's the one piece of the puzzle that was missing. Boom. There it is right there. That's it right there. And I was like over 8 years ago. This is before these people did what they did, taking all my properties and stuff. It was before then. I tried to turn the dude on that took my stuff. Yeah, he's talking to me like it was a scam. I didn't even think it was a scam, bro. What are you talking about? Everybody trying to scam you on nothing. What are you talking about? He messed out on a whole bunch of money. But the problem what happened is when he took my stuff, he messed up my credit. And when he messed up my credit, he messed up my, because you have to have good credit to have a shopping cart online.
What?
You know what happened?
What do you mean?
Messed up my credit because he took my card.
Hey, baby.
What do you mean by what?
You got to have good credit to have a shopping cart online.
Yeah, you do.
What kind of shopping cart? To create a shopping cart, like through Stripe or something like that?
No, you can create. You got PayPal. You can do a PayPal shopping cart. That's not a problem. But there's certain kind of shopping carts you have to have. Like for example, Amazon was selling books at first, right? They were selling books. You can go to Amazon and download a book, right? That's the best kind of shopping cart you have. You have to have a gateway. The gateway says, "Oh yeah, you're doing good business. You're cool. Yeah, we know you got money. You got thousands of dollars in the bank. You got $1 million in the bank. We ain't tripping on you." See, I had that kind of credit, and when the dude did mess up my credit, it messed up my credit to where they said I couldn't get the gateway. And so I was so heated after that. I was so much, I'm gonna get him for messing up my credit. I've been on this here mission trying to get them in the court. I got him now. This case is as of this week. This case is on sliding on down. It's sliding on down. It's sliding on down. So all that I'm talking about is gonna be in place. Now I've been trying to put people in place so they can go ahead and get their networks together. And I'm talking family members first. Because I figured, I don't want nobody asking me for a whole bunch of money. I got people ain't asking me for nothing right now. I don't want to keep it that way. And so to help do that, they got to help them empower themselves. And so, I tell them, you ain't got to do it. Because I'm about to go on a trip for about 4 or 5 months, to a lot of countries. And I ain't going to worry about nothing when I leave and when I get back. Everything's going to be cool. But I put in the work. I put the work in. I'm going to still do the podcast every Sunday. It's like normal. There ain't nothing going to change, but everything is in place already. It's all good. It ain't nothing that ain't gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I say it's gonna happen. It's going down like I say. Okay, see, ain't no time. Ain't nothing wrong with me up here. Okay, I ain't play no football. Okay, no, I ain't play no football. You ain't got to remember that because it ain't never happened. Okay, I ain't never played football. I ain't never played no professional football. High school football, but I ain't never played no professional. No professional.
Well, you did get pushed off the second story floor, right?
That did happen. That did happen. Yeah. Got said
So that might
second floor building. They sure did. Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Nope. Nope. I didn't affect me either. Everything is cool. You know, what happened is it takes you a long time. If you don't have a mentor, it takes you a long time to learn how to play the game. Yeah. Yeah, if you ain't got to be, if it's trial and error, it's gonna take you a little while to figure out, even if you're a brilliant mind. You're like, how were they able to get me in jail behind this? And it all started with that Lori and Georgia stuff.
Oh God.
Yes, I took it to the law book. I'm serious. I took it to the law.
The longest story. The longest
No, it ain't gonna be long at all. It's gonna be a short story.
I've heard
it's gonna be a short story because yeah, right. All I'm saying is it took me to the law book. I'm saying, well, how can they do so? I started doing the law. I started getting into the law. Man, listen, I'm the best lawyer in the world for me. I'm gonna tell you, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm the best attorney in the world for me. They can't touch me. They know it. Yeah, they know it. They know it. They know they can't touch when I take them to that law this time. See, a judge decided he wanted to dismiss my case. He did. He dismissed it. And guess what he said when he dismissed it?
Without prejudice?
Yeah, well, he didn't say that, but it was without prejudice. But he said to me, good luck. Okay, good luck. Yeah, okay, good luck. We're going to find out about luck. Yeah, I dragged his name all the way up to the 9th Circuit. Sure did. Exactly. He ain't saying good luck no more. He ain't saying good luck no more. It took me 5 years to do it, but I dragged him all the way to the 9th Circuit. About how it happened. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. See, so he ain't saying good luck no more. So now we're back in there. We're back. You know, we in it. We go at it again. This week is pivotal because they're gonna start dismissing they objections that they're putting up. They're gonna dismiss it left and right. And it's just a matter of how much they're gonna decide to pay. I wish they hurry up and pay because I got another up my sleeve that's gonna cost them more money if they don't hurry. Hurry up. That's it. They don't hurry up, it's gonna cost them more money. But that's we gotta pay to play, and that's basically how it works. And once you understand, that's why I say that the dude should, he be living the day if he didn't walk up to that man and push him down. Okay, man, I don't want no trouble, dude. Listen, I call the police, man. I don't fight. I'm calling the cops. Let the police handle it. I'm gonna sit over here in the corner, out the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple more minutes maybe before we shut down the show, folks. For those who's down in there, I see we got a few viewers in here. I hope you got a gist of. Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. It's still on there. It's gonna get Facebook probably got a whole lot more than that because you can't see the people on Facebook. And there's gonna be some chat questions. Well, let me see. Pretty soon, them chat lines is gonna be gonna be going crazy. Right now, we ain't got no chats going on, but the lines it's gonna be crazy. It's about to get crazy in here, Nicole. You ready?
Sound good? Ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I like conversation. I like engagement. I like interaction.
But good, Nicole. Well, you're gonna get a lot of interaction. Now we need to go ahead and at least get maybe about 5,000 people in here. It's 1,000 people right there. Your network. You know what I mean? They're gonna be talking about asking you questions. Yeah. Well, yeah. You see, that's what I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you out, Nicole. You may not think so. I'm trying to help you out. You see, folks think, I got some things going on. I don't talk about it, but I got a lot of things going on.
Well,
bunch
you
of
can
stuff.
help me out when you win your case and you get your settlement. You could just throw me some money. That'll help.
Oh, okay.
But that ain't the type
Well,
of help you
okay. Well, yeah,
talking about, though, is it? You want to help me your way, not my way.
I heard you say this before. I heard you say it one time. Oh, you just want to put me to work. Yeah, I heard you say. You seem like this is what confuses me about you, right? I mean, it's not. It's confusing about you. It seems as though you would like to just go ahead and just no more work. Just take care of me. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about just a man. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about a guy. To take care of you. Now you can say no. That's fine. But you seem like the type of person that would love to have a guy that say, "Look, you just go ahead, Nicole. You just relax. I got you. I'm gonna take care of this."
I seem like that type of person.
Yeah,
if I seemed like that type of person, Ted, I would be doing that. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, it doesn't mean that you can't do it. I'm not saying that doesn't mean that you can't do it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that you can't do it.
I think almost any woman, if they wanted to, I think they could do that. Get with the man and just have him to take care of her. I think most women just being feminine and a woman and seducing all of that, she could do that if she wanted to. But
I've seen it.
It's crazy that you would even.
Well,
I work too hard and I'm always alone. What dude you ever even seen me with that you could even say that?
I've seen you with a couple of dudes. I'm not saying that you was in. That
Who you see me with? Let's have this conversation.
Okay, I got 9 minutes. Okay, so anyway, you have children, don't you? When somebody have babies, right?
Yeah, my kid's father.
You have a couple of babies,
right? Yes.
Yeah.
The father
okay,
of my
so
kids.
That's one.
Yes,
that's
you
one.
definitely saw me with him.
That's one. Yeah.
And from that,
exactly.
Relationship, you get the impression that I just want to do to take care of me.
No. Wait. Hey, be quiet. Be quiet. No. I don't get the impression that I think that I just want you, that you just want a man to take care of you. I said that you give me the impression that that's what you would like for a man to say, don't worry about this. I didn't say that you.
I will say this. I would like for anybody to do that, to keep it real. If that's what you're saying, yeah. I don't want to work. How you started, I don't want to work. No, I don't.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah, I would love for anybody to say, hey, Nicole, Nicole's is taken care of. Yeah, I would love that from anybody.
Right.
Keep it real.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything else. I'm not saying that, but
But wouldn't you too? You wouldn't like that? You wouldn't like that? If somebody was like, here, Ted, here, everything is taken care of for you every month for the rest of your life.
No, I wouldn't like that.
You don't want that. You want to work hard?
No. I want to make sure I put everything in place so I don't have to work hard. But maybe you need to listen to what I just now said. I said I want to put things in place to where I don't have to work that hard. I'm not saying that I want somebody else to put that in place. I want to put things in place so I don't need to work that hard. That's all I'm saying. So that's what's going to happen. Because I've already put the work in to where I'm not going to have to work that hard. But I understand that because certain things work well this time.
If somebody care you financially, you wouldn't accept it?
What would that somebody? Who would that somebody be?
I don't know. It's the same somebody your imaginary somebody that's taking care of me.
Well, my imaginary
it obviously
person,
don't matter. You just came up with a scenario to me. You didn't.
I said okay. Well, so for me, since I don't have any desire for a man, and a female, I wouldn't want that to happen with her, because eventually she's gonna be like saying, I did this for you, I did that for you. No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want her to tell me anything about what she did for me.
No, you throwing in extra stuff. You throwing in extra scenarios. You throwing in extra scenarios. You would not, if a woman just come to you and handed you $2,000 right now, you wouldn't take it? No strings attached. Here you go. I see you out here. You look like you working hard. I just want to bless you with something. You wouldn't take it, is what you're saying?
Well, it depends. I mean, somebody gave me $5,000 not too long ago. Last month somebody gave me $5,000.
You took it?
Yeah, it gave me $5,000. Yeah, sure.
Did you do anything for it to get it?
No. Just being a nice person, there was a bunch of people. It wasn't just one person, several people. They gave, I got $5,000. I appreciate that. I told them I'm gonna do something for you for that. But I mean, as far as, like, for example, somebody said life changing, like, okay, you can just relax and take care, just be around, just do this. No, eventually she gonna want, let's, for example, well, let's put it this way. Let's say, for example,
she's gonna want attention and time, and you don't want to give it. Same as me. I don't give attention and time to anybody I don't want to be around. So I'm not taking money from nobody, and nobody's taking care of me. So I don't know what scenario you done made up in your head to try to get me to sign up to your email.
I'm not trying to
nobody
get you to
take
sign
care
up
of me. I work
email.
for mine.
I'm not trying to get you to do anything. See, I don't know where that came from. The point is that I said,
But it may be nice.
Like I said, people.
I just put two and two together. People sometimes try to mind F you, mind fuck you into doing things. So they say things, and you're one of those type of people.
Oh no, see, there we go. Now I don't know why you say that. my
4 minutes left.
Okay, so yeah, right, exactly. So let me finish this in 4 minutes, right? My cousin James Wells, he sees me all the time. He sees me all the time. He sees me in the gym all the time. And he'll tell you, he'll say Ted talks to anybody. He'll talk to anybody. He don't care about who. He don't care what they can look. Whatever. He'll talk to anybody. Some people who be like saying, "I'm scared to talk to her." He'll walk up to him like it's a thing. He's gonna talk to him like it's nothing at all. Yeah. And when he leaves out the gym, that's what Ted be leaving out the gym all by himself. He be going about his business. He got business to take care of. Stop it. No noise. Yeah, he got business to take care of. So certain people have certain things, agendas on their mind. I'm not one of them. I have to be quiet. I don't know why these dogs are barking. I'm not one of them. I have a mission, and my mission is not having anything to do with mind, whatever you said, people's brain. No, I got a whole new. Yeah, right. Yeah, my whole thing is totally different. I got something, that I work on me. That's my whole goal. Just work on. That's all I do. Work on me. I work on me.
That's all you can do is work on you.
That's
all you can do.
I work on me. I don't be running around trying to fix nobody. And then I work on me. I don't want nobody to tell me, well, I'm gonna take care of you. You're gonna go ahead and I'm just fine. And so it doesn't matter. I mean, you talking about some beautiful women. I'm talking about some superstars. It don't matter. I don't care. You can't give me enough money, no matter what you look like, that's going to say, okay, you don't take care of me. No, that's not going to happen. I'm going to always be, doing me. You know what I mean? Yeah. See, so yeah, that's it. So that's the and that's where nobody can get mad or upset because yeah. So yeah, but my cousin James, he can tell you, he knows me more than anybody. He knows me better than anybody because I'm around him more than anybody. See,
Right.
So he can tell you if anybody want to know about me, just ask him. And he'll tell you the whole bit.
That's too close.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah, well, he don't know. We don't. I don't know where he lives, so I don't know nothing about that part of him. He don't know nothing about my place of dwelling. I don't ever ask him for no money. He never asked me for no money. We go to lunch. I take him to lunch. He takes me to lunch. We work out together. We go on our mission. That's it. But when I say he knows me more than anybody, because I'm around him more than anybody.
Why he ain't on one of these shows?
Because he's I don't know. You have to ask him. I never invited him. Maybe I invite him next time.
Interview him for my show and asking to interview him for like a couple years. He got a story.
Well, I don't know what kind of story he got, but I asked him if he wants to come on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's 8:00. Thanks for all your time. Come back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have another topic, and we'll talk more about money. We've been here for like 3 hours, and we'll be talking more about money. Nicole, I'm gonna try and get James on the show tomorrow, and you can ask him all kind of questions. If you want to be on the show, if you're coming on tomorrow, would you like that? Sure, you would. So tomorrow.
Well, the questions that he knows the questions that I have for him, but it would be about a specific topic. It's father-son topic.
So what's the topic would be? What would the topic be?
Well, like I just said, it's father-son topic. He has a son that's in his late 30s, meet until he was 35. And he told me the whole story about it. And I was like, Squeak, I want to interview you. People should hear that story. And he said he was going to let me interview him, but we never have hooked it up. He keep putting it off. But I think it's a really good story.
Okay. Well, I'll talk to him tomorrow. And maybe he'll come on and you can interview him if you want to. If this show or your show or whatever. It doesn't matter.
I would love that. Yeah. Whenever you can hook it up. It ain't got to be tomorrow, but yeah. You got a connection with him. Yeah, I want that interview still.
Yeah, I talked to him all the time. I talked to him today. He called me up this morning. Calls me up all the time. Come to the gym all the time. And so I get with him quite regular. He's kind of.
Okay.
I see him maybe 3 times a week. Sure, why not? Yeah, come on. So I talk to him and say, you want to talk to him about whatever. I have to kick back and let you two discuss this. Ask questions, and I'll just, kind of hang out. Not a problem.
That sounds good.
All right. So hey, much love to you. Hey, listen, tomorrow, folks. Those who appreciate you standing too. I see you folks still in there. You have some questions. Don't forget to comment. Join in and interact with the show. Thanks for tuning in. And if you got anything else to say, Nicole, I guess that's it. We're out.